Shalom Yashubala, giving all praise and glory to the Most High Power. Abraham, Isaac, and JP words be praised for everything. All glory and honor to his holy name. This is the day after Christmas that we're looking at right now. And we're going to continue on this pagan day. And the day after, everybody's still celebrating it, which was started, really made a celebration here, actually a national holiday. They call them holidays. I call them holidays. In 1870 here in America. It wasn't a national holiday, but this is what they've done. So as always, I'm opening up with Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shalom Mashiach Yahushua. That's in the name of the Lord and Savior. Giving thanks to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for everything. His words be praised for everything. Hallelujah, hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Kodash, Kodash, Kodash. Holy, holy, holy is the Most High. We thank him for everything. He words be praised for everything and being talked about too. His words be talked about. Most people only talk about people. That's all the whole debates, everything's about people. That's it. Nothing about the Most High. And his name is jealous, That's putting something before him, and that's people. Think about it. Just something to ponder on. So Isaiah 50:81. Isaiah 50:81. Isaiah 50:81. Say, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. That's we, 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we are. So we have to cry aloud, and we're not going to spare nobody's feelings and how you feel about following the heathens, pagan day of Christmas, and the day after, and the new year coming up, all of that. Come on. You mean to tell me in the dead of winter, that's the new year? Come on. The springtime is the new year. So we're going to lift up voice like a trumpet. Why are you talking so loud? Well, he said, lift up your voice like a trumpet. He said, and show my people. Is that everybody? Who's my people? He said, my people. Who's my people? Let's define it. Matthew 2:6. I mean, the Bible is clear. This is a time that we just finished, honoring the Feast of Dedication. And y'all following paganism. Y'all following something that's gonna lead you straight to hell, man. To damnation, for real. Matthew 2:6. And thou Bethlehem, this defines who my people are. And thou Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. So my people are the Israelites. You see that? And that's what we're dealing with. Looking at my people, who are the Israelites, period. Straight up. So going back to Isaiah 50:81, he said, cry aloud, spare not, lift up that voice like a trumpet, talk loud, and show my people who are the Israelites. We just proved they are the Israelites. Most of people are the Israelites. My people are the Israelites. Their transgression. In the house of Jacob, their sins. That's what we're looking at. Christmas is a pagan holiday because they made holiday from holy day, HOLYDAY. They just changed, like the vowels is AEIOU and sometimes Y. They changed the Y to an I. I mean, they copy everything. Ain't nothing they created themselves, Holly. Everything come from us, So they took our holy day and transferred it into an I, like it says, I and sometimes Y. Sometimes the Y takes the place of the I. The I takes the place of the Y, and so forth and so on. So we're going to show the Most High's people, who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. And every last one of you as Israelites should know the tribes by heart. If that's your nation, because we ain't no community, we ain't no club, we ain't no organization, we ain't no group, none of that. We a nation. And as soon as we realize that we're a nation and stop calling ourselves and let people call us by different names that we're not, we're the 12 tribes of Israel. We're the 12 nations that make up one nation. Each one of those tribes is a nation that make up one nation. And when we come together, you're going to see the power that the Most High going to put upon us. That's why it says, yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their power. They asked of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching to the Most High. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and have, and thou seest not. So we fasted, because fasting and prayer is the only way you get rid of evil spirits. We say, you ain't seeing this, Most High? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and the smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Let your voice be heard by the Most High, he's saying. I mean, this is real, because this is the only time that we get rid of evil spirits. A lot of y'all need to fast and pray a lot, because that's the only way you get rid of the evil spirits, and you got to know the law to deal with Satan, because he can't deal with the law. But you don't know that because you ain't been taught that. You're taught we not under the law, so you don't know what law to go to rebuke him. That's what Mashiach Shai did every single time. When he fasted for 40 days, he was weak. And we can't say we all that strong, can we? Compared to, the men of old and so forth. Come on. You got electricity already, all these wires is zapping all your energy, man. We was real strong, powerful back in the day, That's why the Most had to shrink our stature so we can go into captivity for being wicked, for what the wicked done, I say, because the righteous and the wicked went into captivity. It wasn't just the wicked, it was the righteous and the wicked that went down behind what the wicked done. But we fasted, right? He said, it is such a fast that I have chosen. Is it a fast that I have chosen? Nope. A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head or as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him, being sad? So we did. That's supposed to be showing humility. Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Most High? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, that ye break every yoke? I mean, the fast that the Most High going to ordain, like we have every year, the Day of Atonement, 1 year that He allow us our sins to be forgiven us. But you should be asking for forgiveness of your sins all the time. It's just 1 day that the Most High said this is His fast. A holy day of the Most High that they did. Are they doing this? No. That's the Day of Atonement. It comes right after the Feast of Trumpets, blowing of the trumpets. Then we have the tabernacles. You don't have to do no Christmas and all that, man. You have every month, you have a new moon feast. Come together and have a good time. Not just waiting. Y'all waiting for what? New Year's, which is not the new year. New Year is in between the 3rd month and the 4th month. Overstand this. But y'all looking at bringing in the God JENIS. That's what you're doing. You celebrating while people getting sacrificed and all that stuff. You don't even have no clue of what's going on, man. That's why some things the Most High say they doing behind closed doors we ain't supposed to be talking about. But you got wickedness amongst us, man. Our people ain't right. Better understand. Zechariah, the 2nd chapter. Zechariah, the 2nd chapter. Like I said, it's the day after Christmas. An experience you've never experienced before, because you ain't never been here to hear this. And you ain't never heard me do this, because I'm just doing it right now. Zechariah 2:6. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, said the Most High, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, said the Most High. I mean, he said, you're going to scatter us. Why he do this? Because we didn't follow his commandments. That's why you got to show. He said, show my people their transgressions. We didn't follow the commandments, so the Most High spread us amongst all these nations. And where we at now, we in the land of the north, North America. It says, deliver thyself, O Zion. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. Hear that? Hear that? Deliver yourself, O Zion. Who is Zion? You talking about the land of Zion? Because it says, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon, right? So it says, deliver thyself, O Zion. Who is Zion? Let's find out. Go to Isaiah. Let me get it. It's 51:16. Defines who Zion is. Y'all should be taking notes. You have a pad and pencil, and you're writing down Zion. You see Zion, you'll know that this defines Zion. So when I have a quiz, you'll be able to go through it and you'll know what these words mean. Because as much as possible, you have to let the Bible answer itself and not go outside the Bible. You let the Bible answer itself. Listen, this is the definition of Zion. Isaiah 51:16. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. See that? And say unto Zion, thou art my people. Now we just defined my people in where? Matthew, the 2nd chapter, the 6th verse. My people Israel. Okay? So this is how you get understanding. Going back to Zechariah, the 2nd chapter. Now that we know that Zion represents the 12 tribes of Israel, now we go back to Zechariah 2:7. It says, deliver thyself, deliver yourself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. So who is the daughter of Babylon? Because it's telling you Zion is dwelling with the daughter of Babylon. So when you go to Psalms 137:7, defines who this daughter of Babylon is. It said, remember, O Most High, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So who is that? The same people that gave you Christmas. And what did it just? They were prophesying about what's going to happen to us when we go into captivity under the Babylonians, the Cushites, the Ethiopians, okay? The Chaldees, all those names are pertaining to Babylon. And we're going to see. So it said, remember, almost how the children of Edom, that's the topic, the Edomites, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So when you look in the Bible, if you go to 1 Ezra 4:45, tell you what they did. Why, when you read this chapter, it's talking about they had a bet. And the first said it was given to the king. The first said the king is the greatest. What's the greatest out there? That's the bet they had. What's the greatest? What is the greatest? So the king is great. Second one said wine is great. And the third one said the truth and wisdom. Excuse me, the truth and women. Truth and women is the greatest. And the one that said truth and women won. So the king had promised certain things to him. So he said, no, this is what he said. This is what he wanted. 1 Ezra 4:45. See, you also vowed to build the temple which the Edomites burned when the Judea was laid waste by the Chaldeans. You see? So what happened? They burned down our temple. And burning down our temple meaning we could not go in there to sacrifice for the atonement of our sins. And we could, they, in their mind, will be taken away from who? The Most High. And that's what the whole plot is. Y'all got to understand. That's why when y'all resort to all praises and you're not praising the Most High, that's taking us away from the Most High. Look at it however you want to. Debate that. When his name is jealous, and you go in this Bible and see what he says only about himself, and show me what they really bringing out scriptures concerning him only. I ain't talking about what he's telling us concerning any other nation or anyone except for himself, period. When you look at him, you look at what we've done and offending him, you shouldn't want to offend him. That's why it says, remember, O Most High, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So you see what they did. They burnt down our temple. We went into captivity under the Babylonians, under King Nebuchadnezzar, an Ethiopian king, for 70 years. O daughter of Babylon. So you see, you said we got to flee from who? From the daughter of Babylon. So daughter of Babylon represent who? Verse 7. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom. So the daughter of Babylon represents the children of Edom. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall it be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. That us is the 12 tribes of Israel. Happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. It's saying. That's why you're looking at where we at now. Zechariah 2 and 6. It's very important. We just bringing the truth. Nobody had no problem with the lies that's been taught. Y'all sitting back celebrating Christmas and New Year's and all the other fantasy holidays that they set up for you to follow. This is the truth. That's why it says in Zechariah 2 and 7, say, deliver thyself, O Zion, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. And we dwelling with the Edomites. It's their, I mean, they're the ones. The superpower of the earth, shoot. Who is it that put embargoes on people? Sanctions. Oh, you doing that over there? Okay. Who is the the police of the world, if I might ask? They just bombed Nigeria because of Muslims killing the Christians. Trump warned them and said, hey, y'all better stop it. They did it. He did it. Shoot. You tell me they ain't the superpower of the earth? So what we dealing with? That's why it said, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon. That's why you're not going to be delivered if you don't follow what it is that we have to do, the instructions and what the Most High telling us to do. You know, this is serious. Revelation 18 and 4, what did he say? And I heard another voice from heaven saying, talking to us again. What did he say? Come out of her, my people, and you be not partakers of her sins, that you don't follow the sins that are against the Most High's rules and regulations, his law, statutes, commandments. Christmas is a sin. Come on, think about it. We supposed to be honoring what a Mashiach Shai honored. You say y'all say Christian mean Christ-like, but you're not gonna do what he does. That he done, then how are you Christ-like? How are you like him? You're not like him because sin is a transgressor of the Most High's laws. You understand that? And you're taught you're not under the law. You crisp insanity people, you say you're not under the law. So therefore, you're breaking the law. And you'll come up real quick, not even thinking about the laws. You don't know the laws, but you'll say, yeah, we all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. So you use that as an excuse, or you might come with, you know, the Most High know my heart. Or you'll say like, oh, Mashiach Yahushua, he died for my sin. For whatever I do, he covered it because his blood covered my sin. And you ain't trying to do right. And you think that's okay. That's not okay, people. That's not okay. That's why I'm here to warn you. I'm here to wake you up. I'm the alarm clock you never heard before, but you're going to hear it and you can't turn it off. That's a problem. You can't turn it off. Anyway, Revelation 18:4, it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. You hear that? Y'all think that virus who they just put on us a few years ago was something? Oh, it's going, most high say gonna be like a woman in travail, like a woman having a baby, no contractions. Oh, it's coming. Believe that. And y'all gotta understand, Jacob's trouble gonna be on another level. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing from what's written. That's why he's telling us, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. We got days, most high got holy days. You can read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Don't be scared. I mean, defy your preacher and go and look at the laws from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Defy him. You better believe in the Most High. He wrote those laws with his finger. So when you say, is my work in vain, is his work in vain? Yes or no? Is it all right? Do you give him your middle finger and say, I ain't got to do what you say do? Because you're going to look at Jesus, your Jesus, I might say, who probably is this dude. This probably your Jesus right here. Here he is right here. Bam. Right? So he ain't doing nothing for you. Only thing he doing is picking up, I wouldn't even say picking up Daisy, because he probably being jacked up somewhere for coming on the earth pretending like he is. But no, his father really the one that did it. His father did it after he died. Set him up as a Mashiach Yahushua, the Jesus Christ that y'all believe in and worship. Come on, man. That's why Moses said, come out of her, my people. This world, Mashiach Yahushua is crucified right here in America. Tell me it ain't. Because Putin done put him all, put the icons all over. Open up this church. He just opened up this church. You see all the, everybody's melanated people on the walls, the apostles, the prophets, everybody. He opened it up. He did that summit. He had the walls of the altar. Because you look at the Russian icons, the book, The Russian Icons. Matter of fact, anytime you want, I got all the pictures from the Russian icons, primarily. You know, from that book, man. That book costs over $2,000 to $20, almost $3,000 now. Think about it. That ain't for everybody to have. It's not for everybody to have. But he set all the black images all on his desk, on the side of his desk. He had the summer. He had all the walls painted with the icons that we set up, ruling Russia and so forth. I mean, you think Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci was the only one that could draw? Come on. Some of y'all out there probably can outdraw them. We great people, man. We are very, very great in all aspects, shapes, and forms, man. You know, so we have pictures, you know. Luke was an artist and a physician. You think he ain't draw? Mashiach Yahushua, the apostles and so forth? Come on. Y'all gotta think, man. Y'all gotta come out of this westernized brain polluting that they have done to you, man. You know, we created mostly everything. So many inventions that we invented. Come on now. That's why I say, come out of her, my people. That mindset. You ain't supposed to be following them, Christmas and so forth. That ye be not partakers of her sins. And that's what is happening. You get ready to follow them celebrating Nimrod's birthday. That's what you just did. Now you're getting ready to go into the worship of the God, Janis, two-headed God, on the first day of next year, 2026. That's what y'all doing. While they sacrificing people, they doing all kind of stuff. And y'all having a party and you part of it. If you hear this, do your research. You part of it. That's what you're doing. You just not there with them, but you actually participating in those wicked, demonic festivals that they do called the Humanite sacrifice. You part of it. That you be not partakers of her sins. You hear that? So how are you not partakers of her sins if everybody over here on the left side, they was complaining about y'all. So y'all took our holiday. Christmas. That was for the pagans. They said that was their holiday. But what did Constantine do? They sat down and they determined, hey, we're going to bring the pagans in with this Christianity that they set up. I mean, look, you think about Christian insanity. Is it the same as what the Bible says? So you should be able to find their decree that they believe in the Bible, or who they are, Catholic Church, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, all these things you should be able to follow and find in the Bible. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how you get understanding. You can't find it, then hey, it ain't real. But it's not real. That's why I say, come out of her, my people. Come out of them religions. Well, so he didn't give us no religion. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments. Come on. And we ain't got to go far to show you it's still in effect until the end. I'll show you ain't gonna be what? Few verses left. But 6 verses left before the Bible's over. And he's still saying, blessed are they that keep my commandments. 6 or 7 verses left. And the Bible's over. And you think it ain't important? Y'all listen to them. Y'all listen to them people that's gonna lead you straight to the lake of fire if you want to. You better hear what the word of the Most High said. We got to come out of her. He said that you be not partakers of her sins. It's a sin to be bowing down to that Christmas tree. And y'all to put the Christmas tree in your house. It's an idol. I went through that. Jeremiah 10, 1-5. Tell you, that was Nimrod's spirit supposed to be in there. You didn't bring no gold and silver. And till Semiramis, his mama / wife, who had sex with his mother, created this child named Tammuz, you know? And that's what y'all sacrificing. Yeah, women crying for Tammuz because he got killed by a wild boar trying to be a mighty hunter like his daddy, Nimrod. That's what y'all dealing with. The sun god, all of this, man. That's what y'all dealing with. That's why it says, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That's one more look. Amos 9 and 8. Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High are upon the sinful kingdom. Now, you write in there, all y'all that claim y'all believe in Jesus, you write in there, show me all the ways that America is righteous. That America keeps the laws of the Most High, because righteousness is keeping the laws of the Most High, without shadow of a doubt. Deuteronomy 6:25. You tell me that America's doing this. They're looking at what the Most High says in the laws, and they following just what he says to do. If you don't, you're a sinful kingdom. It don't matter who's in charge. What country? Listen what it says, Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness. Just define righteousness. If we observe to do all these commandments. So they're observing to do all the commandments of the Most High before the Most High, your power, our power, as he have commanded us. Are they doing that? Are they doing that? Or are they just using the people for commerce, as we just went through in this day of Christmas, the day after? A lot of people got all them presents and took them back, got their money back, or they out there trying to see what deals they have after Christmas. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's what the Most High said, Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High, which are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and the secret parts, are upon the sinful kingdom. His eyes upon this sinful kingdom, America. He said, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. A lot of people think America's not going to be destroyed. Hear what he said? He said, I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Now, you got to show me where America's righteous. You know? Because if you're not righteous, then you're a sinful kingdom. Are we a righteous kingdom? Think about it. Is America really saying we got to follow the laws of the Most High, the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, as we are as Israelites, to the best of our ability? No. They got these religions. Y'all caught up in religions. That's why y'all following Christmas and bowing down to that idol, that tree. that you put in your house. But he said, and that I is the Most High, will destroy from out the face of the earth. Saving, you're going to save someone, that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. He ain't going to utterly destroy us, 12 tribes of Israel, that remnant. Said the Most High, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. We got to be sifted from among all nations. Every last one of Israelites not going to be saved. Get that out of your mind. He said he's going to sift. Why you got to sift? If every last Israelite going to be saved, he's going to sift the house of Israel among all nations. He's going to sift us among all nations, right? That's what he said. Like as corn is sifted in a seed. You take corn, you put it in there, you sift it in the seed. And he said what? Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. You know what that least is? The remnant. 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Understand this. Well, why he say this? All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Ain't that some pride right there? Ain't no humility in that. He said, all the sinners of his people, all you that break the laws of the Most High, you follow these religions if you want to. He said, he's going to kill you by the sword. Which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. That's what y'all taught. But you better believe there's a judgment that's coming. And hopefully you won't want to be a part of it, because it is going to be, what I read in this Bible, it's scary. You think you ain't afraid of the Most High? You ain't scared of the Most High? You're going to be afraid of him. And when you call on him, he's going to be mocking and laughing at you. You ain't preparing yourself for the future, for this time to come. What y'all think? We got next too? What you think? They're just going to give it to you? Do it seem like they give anything to anybody? Well, then that's talking about Thanksgiving. Was this land given to them? Or did they take it? Just a minute. Recognize. I better recognize who you're dealing with. That's why it's very important that we don't follow the way of man, but that's what we do. We always looking at what man says. Look at y'all bear with me, because I have a lot of things that is going on right now in the spiritual realm, manifesting itself in this carnal world that we in. Mark 7:6. Well, let's read verse 5 first. Mark 7:5. Then the Pharisees, who was always against Hamashiach and the scribes, asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the tradition of the elders, tradition of men, but eat bread with unwashed hands? So they always trying to find something, like you see these the Israelites or they other nations always looking to find something wrong with the Most High's word and what we're bringing out, but they won't break down what we're saying. Break the scripture down. What does this mean? They got wherever they want to go. Always tempting on Mashiach Yahushua, the same as they do us today. So why they don't wash their hands when they eat bread, right? He answered and said unto them, well hath Isaiah prophesied of you, hypocrites. You know what a hypocrite is? They say do this, but they don't do it. Don't do this, but they do it. That's a hypocrite. You get the commandments, they read the commandments, they're supposed to be an Israelite, but they break the commandments. You can't even trust them. You hypocrites. As it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips. Oh, I love the Most High. Praise God. Praise Jesus. They honor me with their lips, but their heart, your mind, is far from me. If it was, and you realize, come on, all these years, especially those that know me, over 30-something years, and you know that I ain't never did it. Why did I change? Why? And I'm not I'm not an ignorant person. Or challenge me on that. I'm talking about people that know me and knowing I ain't been doing it. So why don't do Christmas? What is he doing? He's doing something else. And some of you have been through the holy convocations. Y'all done ate and drank and did everything with us. And still, where you at now? Every year, it's the same thing. Just like they have Christmas, we have the Feast of Dedication every year. It ain't never stopped. You stopped. Or you never participated. Or some of you came, man, we talking about going back to the early 90s, man. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You got something to say about this, that, or third, whatever, but when it comes down to the Most High's holy days, where you at? When you're on word, you say gather together. You ain't gather with nobody. Y'all probably not even an Israelite no more. Where you at? Where they at? That's why they say, hey, you hypocrites. As it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And some of you that's existing right now, your mind is far from it. You're going to say all praises. You can't say all praise to the Most High. Challenge me on that. You love him, but you can't even say that. Tradition of men. Man said somebody made it up. I don't know who, but somebody made it up. And that's, you know, everybody's saying that, taken away from him. Yeah, I see bing, bing. Just some of y'all leaving on that. Y'all probably looking, peeping in here. Oh, yeah, I want to hear that because you know you're part of that. All praises. All praise to the Most High, man. Challenge me on that. You ain't got to say all praise to the Most High. Be for the Most High. Come on, that's why it's the hypocrites, man. As it is written, these people honor me with their lips, but their heart, their mind is far from me. Howbeit, in vain do they worship me. What they say, teaching for doctrine, the commandments of men. And you understand this? Some man or some, I don't know, some man, I don't know, woman, somebody started certain things and everybody pick up on it. I call y'all a bunch of robots and robotees, man. They're following the commandments of men, starting with the religions, man. Somebody made those up. Somebody following them religions, right? I mean, we dealing with what the scriptures say, point blank. As Israelites, we dealing with the scripture. We be going back and forth about these scriptures. That's what we go by. Not no religion. Most High didn't give us no religion. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments. In Psalm 147, 19, 20, show up his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. That's for his judgment. They have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. That's why we praise the Most High. We ain't saying no all praises. I'm going to say all praise to the Most High till it just hurt your feelings. How about that? Run with that. You say, listen to what it says. Howbeit, verse 7, howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. Come on. All the religions are commandments of men, you know. For laying aside the commandment of the Most High, we ain't under the law. Or like the Most High said, you can't, when you, look, he said, when you praise him, I got to keep bringing it out. This is the law as far as I'm concerned. Or tell me it ain't. Tell me it's not a law. Man, y'all better ask somebody. How are we going to get out of here if we making the Most High lesser and lesser and lesser instead of more and more and more and more? That's the strategy of the enemy to keep us away from the Most High. Listen, break this down. Ecclesiastes 43 and 29. The Most High is terrible. Break that down. The Most High is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. But here he's terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. Listen what it says. When you glorify the Most High, y'all follow traditions of men if you want to. When you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as you can. For even yet will ye far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength. Now, no, all praise to the Most High. You ain't about the Most High. He said, put forth all your strength. It's supposed to be loud. All praise to the Most High. If not, then you ain't dealing with him. You would have said, put forth all your strength. That's what some of y'all faking it. Y'all just like he just called the Pharisees hypocrites. You on the left side trying to act like you on the right side. That's why the Most High gonna visit you. Especially you that do wrong by those that's trying to do right by you. He gonna get you, point blank. That's a guarantee. By Shama Mashiach Yahushua. I done seen it over and over and over again. Challenge the Most High on that. Come with it. Tell me he can't visit you for your wrongdoing, your evil self. Listen, when you glorify the Most High, exalt him as much as you can, for even yet will ye far exceed. Will he far exceed? And when you exalt him, this is very important, y'all. Put forth all your strength and be not weary, for ye can never, hear that? You can never, he said, you can never go far enough. Hear that? You can never go far enough. So anybody got a problem with praise the Most High? You got a problem. That's why it says, Mark 7 and 8, for laying aside the commandment of the Most High, like you just heard. That came from the Most High. But for laying aside the commandment of the Most High, Mark 7 and 8, ye hold the tradition of men as the washing of pots and cups and many other such things ye do. And he said unto them, full well you reject the commandment of the Most High, that you may keep your own tradition. Hear that? That's what people are doing. They're rejecting the commandment of the Most High to keep their own tradition. You still that old man. You ain't trying to be spiritual, however you want to look at it. You still that old man. You ain't changed. You're the same wicked cat or same wicked woman that was back in the day. And every time you look around, it shows up in you. Because them spirits in you ain't never been flushed out. Then you ain't spiritual. When you're spiritual, you're going to be looking at what it is that's right. You're going to be humble and you're going to be trying to do the best you can, knowing that the Most High can visit you, especially when you do wrong to his servants. Try him. You're going to find out. Y'all can find out. Bet you. Guaranteed, without a shadow of doubt. By Shama Mashiach Yahushua. Believe this. We're going to see if your way is going to work or his way going to work. Spirit within the Father, hand of living power. I go through that every time I teach. Hebrews 10:31. But some of you going to play them. And their prayers against you. Trust me, you don't even know it. You don't even have a clue. Jeremiah 44:4. He said, howbeit, I send unto you all my servants, the prophets. He said, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Oh, don't do Christmas because I hate it, because it has nothing to do with me or my son. Hamashiach Yahushua. It has nothing to do with the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Hamashiach Yahushua. Period. Your Lord and Savior at all. He said, don't do this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, that burn incense unto other gods. That's what you're doing. You following some other god. Look at Santa Claus. You just move the letters over in Santa, you got Satan. They got you all fooled, man. Y'all, I don't know. I prayed for my people because we really in darkness. You know. I mean, look at Santa Claus, CLAUSE, and then you look at CLAWS. Sound the same? Claws, right? You got the claws, like the claws of an eagle, just grab that prey and tear it up, whatever. Claws of a lion, bear. I mean, Satan's way of destroying you. There it is. Or you looking at, you have them clauses that being written in contracts and so forth. Conditions. Here go the conditions. Sometimes it be a little print. Yeah, Satan clause. He got a condition for you. And you got to follow whatever he say do. and you on that side, and you get it caught up in it, where you gonna go then? And here it is. You got to deal with the Most High. It says, wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. That's real. I've been there. To the cities of Judah, man, it was sad, man. It's real humbling to know what the scriptures say and look, see it with your own eyes and relate to the scriptures and look at that and see, wow, man, what he says, wasted and desolate as at this day, for real. They ain't built that up, I know that. Ain't nobody went over to build that up, and nobody be in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's a place of refuge because nobody's there, man. We went there 3 times. Nobody was there. Straight up. Ain't nobody looking to go there. So look at Jeremiah 44:4 again. Howbeit I sent you unto you, this we, the children of Israel, all my servants, the prophets. Who the servants? Because y'all can look at servants, could be anybody, any nation, right? No. That's why I said it's very important to know these definitions. Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob, my servant's sake. See, Jacob is the servant of the Most High. And you look at Isaiah 44:21. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, for thou art my servant. You see? So the servants have to be of the Israelites. So now he's saying, he said the servants who have to be Israelites, the prophets who have to be all Israelites. Y'all getting it? It's just how simple this is. Little children can understand this. I hope y'all can understand, because I know we've been brain polluted so much that, it might be a little hard sometimes, but if you really hear the same thing and the same definitions over and over again that's defined by the Bible, then you can understand. So going back to Jeremiah 44:4, howbeit I sent unto you my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But what do people say? Don't our people say, y'all heard that saying, the Most High, he hates the sin, but he loved the sinner. Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, right? Is that the first time you heard it now? But anybody that go to church in these religions, that's what they say. The Most High, they say God, I don't like using that word God because that's dog spelled backwards. The Europeans created that word in the 6th century AD. And it's a word that they created. They took dog and spelled it backwards and came up with God. It's a Germanic word. So it says in Ecclesiasticus 12:6. Remember, they say what? The Most High, he hate the sin, but he loved the sinner. Let's see if that's true or not. Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter and the 6th verse. It says, for the Most High hateth sinners. You hear that? Take that to your pastor. Tell him to break this down. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the unrighteous, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. So what is sin? It's defined in 1 John 3:4. This is sin. So if you do this, the Most High hates you. Or you got to show me where the Most High love you, like they teaching people to. Like I'm telling y'all, the whole objective of this wicked and perverse and evil kingdom is to have you not follow the Most High, to have you not be in his glory, his grace and mercy. Or they would tell you the truth, or they would be able to come on there and prove that the Most High loved the sinner, when he just said he Most High hate the sinner. He hated sinners. And what is sin? 1 John 3:4, y'all. Whosoever, no matter who it is, committeth sin, transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. You see? Whosoever, no matter who it is, committeth sin, This defines sin. You should write that down. You want to know what sin means? This is defined, this definition of sin. It defines sin. Whosoever, no matter who it is, committeth sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Who wrote the law? Deuteronomy 9 and 10. This is who you disrespecting without self a doubt, or prove me wrong. Deuteronomy 9 and 10. And the Most High delivered unto me, that's Moses, the Most High delivered to Moses 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. Y'all hear that? Written with the finger of the Most High. And on them was written according to all the words which the Most High spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. When he spoke to us in Exodus 20th chapter, gave us the 10 commandments. And the 10 commandments are a synopsis of how we honor the Most High. We love the Most High, I might say, with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and how we love thy neighbor as thyself. All the commandments are based upon them 2 principles, how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. That's what it's about. But what we do, we sit around here talking about it don't even matter. Don't matter. The law been done away with. And y'all, that's why I say traditions of men. Some man started saying that. Some man started saying that. I can't say who it is, but believe this. Some man started that madness. And y'all believed it. And y'all still follow it. And y'all compromise with, how you're supposed to be dealing with things according to the scriptures. They just tell you something, you believe it. They tell you something, you believe it. That's why, look, go back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah had to go. He was crying prophet. He was crying out to Israel a lot, man. That's why you have Lamentations. That's why Jeremiah, he's crying. It's sad, man, but we don't have feelings of what it is that we should have feelings for spiritually, but you let something happen that's carnally, y'all be all uptight, but when it's spiritual, and I mean spiritual starting with the Most High, they don't go no further than that. You can't go no further than him. You going further than him, that's the problem now. You ain't went to him to deal with how you feel, to know how you're supposed to feel about him. But you don't go to him and have him do whatever you want him to do. But even in your conversation, think about it, y'all. That's why he said, Jeremiah 44 and 4, howbeit I said unto you, all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. He hates you to sin. You hear what he said? Ecclesiastes 12:6, for the Most High hated sinners. He hates you. You think he loved you and you gonna do exactly what he tell you not to do? Make that make sense. You mean you had a child and your child was bad as ever? You going to work every time you look around, they calling you, hey, come get your child. Rah, rah, rah. He did this and did that, whatever. You got to go deal with it. They're in trouble. You got to go to court because they bad as ever. You got to go to court. Get off your job, might lose your job behind you. Go on, leaving to take care of your child. And you're going to bless him. He bad as ever, you're going to bless him. Taking the magic mountain. Oh, you been bad like that? Oh, come on, I'm going to bless you to do something that you like to do. Come on, make that make sense. We're not like that, but you say the Most High got to be like that. It doesn't make sense to me. We're doing the things that he hates. He said, and for the Most High hated sinners. Hear what he said, and will repay vengeance unto the unrighteous, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. So he keeping them here for the mighty day of their punishment when he bring that punishment on them. It's going to happen. You can't escape it. Jeremiah 26. Jeremiah the 26th chapter. Y'all keep following these pagan holidays if you want to. These holidays. That's where the city. That's where he said, day of vengeance. You want to have a compassion of the Most High, you better come out of that. Jeremiah 26 and 2. Or go to the scriptures and prove you can. Show me Christmas. The Most High said celebrate Christmas. Talk to me. Jeremiah 26 and 2. Thus said the Most High. The Most High talking. Power Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob been the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. We, the 12 tribes of Israel, stand in the court of the Most High's house and speak unto all the cities of Judah, which come to worship in the Most High's house, all the words that I command thee to speak unto them. Diminish not a word. Say, don't take nothing away from what I'm going to tell you, Jeremiah. What did he say? If so be, they will hearken and we will listen and turn every man from his evil way, from following Christmas and all the rest of these pagan holidays that the Most High hates, which I purpose to do unto them because of the evil of their doing. You can take it any way you want to. Ain't nothing new under the sun. As he's speaking here, he's speaking now. And thou shalt say unto them, thus say the Most High. This is the Most High who I've been talking about. We need to be honoring and praising. If ye will not hearken to me, you won't listen to him to walk in my law, which I have set before you. If you will not hearken to me, you want to listen to Most High to walk in my law that he wrote with his finger, that he just told you, which I have set before you. He said what? To hearken to the words of my servants, the prophets, whom I sent unto you, both rising up early, as we just read, and sending them, but ye have not hearkened. We ain't listened. Like y'all don't want to listen now. But somebody gonna hear. It's for someone. Somebody gonna hear and change. Then will I make this house like Shiloh, and will make this city a curse to all the nations of the earth. Hear what he said? Verse 5, to hearken to the words of my servants, the prophets. Now he say he's talking to you now, whom I sent unto you, both rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened. You ain't listened. We didn't listen. Then will I make this house like Shiloh, and will make the city a curse to all the nations of the earth. And look at that land like, wow, the nations know who we are. We don't know who we are. Look at that. They ride through there like I was riding through. My eyes were bucked. I'm like, wow, miles and miles and miles of desolation. Nothing growing there. But we lived in that land. Beautiful. You know, the Most High gave us the best of the best. Decked us out, everything. We was the best of the best. They can't even reproduce any buildings that we lived in, any houses that we lived in. It's nothing there. It's blank. Like he said, he's gonna make it desolate. You can't even have a clue of what was there. Ain't nothing there but dirt. That's it. But he said, verse 5, to hearken to the words of my servants, the prophets, whom I sent unto you, both rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened. We ain't listened. He said, then will I make this house like Shiloh, and will make this city a curse to all the nations of the earth. So the priests and the prophets and all the people heard Jeremiah speaking these words in the house of the Most High. They heard the priests and the prophets, and all the people heard the Most High speaking through Jeremiah. Now it came to pass, when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking all that the Most High has commanded him to speak unto all the people, that the priests and the prophets and all the people took him, saying, thou shalt surely die. What is the Most High asking us? To listen to him. All he wants you to listen to and obey what he's saying to do. Now it came to pass, verse 8, when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking all that the Most High had commanded him to speak unto all the people, we the Israelites. This ain't talking about nobody else, talking about we the Israelites. Mainly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and all the tribes, northern tribes that was with us, that went into captivity. That the priests and the prophets and all the people took him, saying, thou shalt surely die. Why hast thou prophesied in the name Yahweh Ba'Shalom Mashiach Yahushua, saying, this house shall be like Shiloh, and this city shall be desolate without an inhabitant. And all the people were gathered against Jeremiah in the house of the Most High. Check this out. I know this happened. Second Ezra. We had lost the Bible. We had lost the word of the Most High. Ezra got it all back. Look what it says. And then some, because we only have like, we as Israelites have 80 books. You as Christian Saturday people, you only got 66, because y'all say the Apocrypha is not canon when it is. But he have 124 more books that majority of people don't have a clue of. that he said keep away from most of the people, because you ain't even interested in knowing what this 66 book said. That's more, 204 books. I'm just looking. I mean, I was just be doubtful, just boom, you gotta get this. When I pull back, okay, who really want to know more? That's why he said don't give it to them. They give it to the wise. The wise gonna want to know more. Those that's not, I mean, I hope you get doing enough to make it. So look, what this wicked Israelites, this is what they did. This is what they did. Most I say he rose up to send his servants who are the Israelites, the prophets, to tell us, hearken to the Most High. They just told us, what they tell Jeremiah. They said, thou shalt surely die. You know, that the priests and the prophets, verse 8, and all the people took Jeremiah, saying, thou shalt surely die. And what they end up doing to the prophets. 2 Ezra 1:32. I sent unto you my servants, the prophets. Sound familiar? We done read about 3 times. But they said the prophet was not canon. But look at what it said. Remember, Jeremiah's getting back the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of this Bible that we had lost. Here he's saying, in 2 Ezra 1:32, I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, killed the prophets, and torn their bodies in pieces. So when they say you're going to die, look what this says. I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. So it ain't just these other nations' blood that the Most High going to be dealing with people and revision his servants and prophets who have been killed, but even with the Israelites. We did that. That's why you hear what I'm saying. You hear what he said in Jeremiah 26:8. Now it came to pass when Jeremiah had made an end, speaking all that the Most High had commanded him to speak unto all the people of Israel. The Most High telling Jeremiah to speak to the people. Like I asked for direction and guidance to bring to the people, to be on point through the power of the Most High, that the priests and the prophets and all the people took him, saying, thou shalt surely die. And you see what they did? He said in 2 Ezra 1:32, I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, kill them, and torn their bodies in pieces. Killing wasn't enough. They chopped them up, tore their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. They're going to have to pay for that. Jeremiah 44:5. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. I mean, and you look at we went to the Greek captivity. This is what we did. And First Maccabees, 1st chapter, verse 54. This under wicked, evil, treacherous Antiochus Epiphanes. 1 Maccabees 1:54. In the Apocrypha. Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and burned and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, right? And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets to other gods. You hear what it said? Idol altars. Idol altars. All the gods of the nations are idols. So we built idol altars and burnt incense in the streets, man. And when the Edomites, had rent in pieces the books of the law, y'all wonder why we always talk about we not under the law? The Bible was, the law was ripped in pieces before our face. Just tore the law up. We have the Negro Bible. The law is mainly not in there. Hardly no laws in there. First 5 books of Moses. I mean, it's like taken out. So that's why it's easy for us to say you're not under the law. But see, we don't think, I don't know, it's something wrong with our brains. Like, we think that the world began when we was born in the world, or when we come into this truth, or whenever you start learning whatever you learn, and you put it, like, y'all realize, can you go back from 1492 all the way to 1865, and all those years in that in between there, that we were slaves? We were under the slavery of the Edomites, the so-called white man. All that time to be able to do the things that they needed to do, and dealing with what it is that you're gonna think. This is how we're gonna program you to think. We're gonna pollute your mind so you don't remember who you are as an Israelite. You're not gonna open up the Bible because it was against the law, their law, for us to read. Why? Because we're reading now, and you see where we at as far as the intelligence that we have and knowing what this Bible is talking about in any subject matter, whatever you want to talk, wherever you want to go. As far as the scripture is concerned, holding fast to it. And we're not together, but they looking like, dang, how do they know this? How do they know that? Because we're not together. But you see, it's the Spirit of the Most High that's doing this, bringing these preachers up together, dealing with what we need to deal with, to come to the Most High. And all you that's not, you better understand, you're gonna pay a hell of a price. You're gonna pay a price, man. That's why I say, look. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, that law that the Most High wrote with his finger that we read in Deuteronomy 9 and 10, was they found, they burnt them with fire. So they burnt our scrolls. There were scrolls at that time. They burned them with fire. Listen. And whatsoever, this is the Greek Empire, the so-called white man's first empire, under this wicked king, Antiochus. And whatsoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, you see how it's clear? Y'all don't like to hear that word because they programmed you not to like to hear you under the law. You don't want to hear that. You can deal with commandments somewhat, but say you under the law, you don't like that. They don't like that at all. But you under the law. Look what it said. And whatsoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, like I'm giving you, and have given you, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Now, what you think? You studying the law, and somebody say, hey, you over there studying the law, you gonna be put to death? So it's easy, right? Bam. I mean, nothing new under the sun. The same thing happened to us in slavery here. We in the Greek Empire. We're not, Masha Shah have not come on the earth yet, y'all. We looking at maybe 323, they say BC, something like that. Come on, he was born in 4 BC, just way before he was. So you got all these years that we as Israelites are not calling ourselves Israelites, not following the law of the Most High, but following the law of who? These heathens. And you have to sneak to be able to deal with the law. We went in, we built the underground, where the Vatican is at, man. I mean, underground tunnels, man. They were called catacombs, where we went underground, fleeing from the Roman, persecution and slaughter, to follow the Most High laws, statutes, commandments. Listen. And once, verse 57, and whatsoever was found with any the book of the testament, you had the laws and the prophets in your possession, or if any consented to the law, you didn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, dietary law, you followed it. You loved your brother as you loved yourself. You followed all the commandments best you could, and we will follow with the law, reviewing the law. The king's commandment, this wicked king Antiochus Epiphanes, was that they should put him to death. Straight up. They put him to death for keeping the law of the Most High. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites, not to anyone else, to the Israelites, who we are, every month, to as many as were found in the cities, y'all. Now, the 5 and 20th day of the month Like you had the 25th day of the month last 24 hours ago, right? On the 25th, the 12/25, 2025. Listen, thus the day, excuse me, now the 5 and 20th day, that's verse 59. Now the 5 and 20th day of the month, that's every 20th day, 25th day of the month, did they sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. You hear that? They put the idol altar on top of the altar that we, of the Most High, that we sacrificed for the atonement of our sins, the peace offerings, whatever we did. They put this idol altar on top of it. Where they had, look, let me show you what they did with it. In verse 47, verse 47, set up altars. Remember, they put this altar on top of our altar of the Most High, and groves and chapels of idols, see, and sacrifice swine's flesh, pig, pork, and unclean beasts. That's what they did. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. That's unholiness. Whatever could be unholy. Why? To the end they might forget the law. You see? That's why you have the Negro Bible. You don't have any laws. The laws like from Genesis all the way to Deuteronomy, most of that's taken out. So you don't know anything about laws and slavery. If you get the Bible, just the Bible you're going to read. You know, you didn't get a chance to learn it when those that were able to, they rose up, you know. Well, this is what it said. This all to the end they might forget the law that the Most High wrote with his finger, Deuteronomy 9 and 10, and change all the ordinances, right? And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, this wicked king Antiochus, he said he should die. First time. Remember, we just read, anybody was caught, verse 57, and wheresoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law that the Most High gave us, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws, because we still sacrificing animals here because Mashiach Shai don't come until, what, almost 300 years later. Over that, you know what I mean? It says the king's commandment was that they should put him to death, right? Keep the law, you die. Just like they told Jeremiah, we're going to put you to death. He was bringing the word of the Most High, like I'm bringing the word of the Most High. You know, highly exalting the Most High. They want to kill him. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. You see that? Now the 5 and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar. So yesterday they sacrificed on the idol altar long before Christmas came into being as being Christmas. But they still were following a winter festival. You know, the winter solstice, that always been there. To Nimrod, way back in Genesis. Come on now. And Semiramis, they always been doing this here. This ain't nothing new. They just added the pagans, what they were doing as pagans, they added, called it Christmas. Look what they got the nerve to put it CHRITMAS, you know, Christ Mass, you know. Come on, man. Got the nerve to put a Mashiach name in it. But y'all don't really think so. Y'all ain't thought about that. That's what he's doing in massacring them. You see what it's saying? Verse 59. Now the 5 and 20th day of the month, that's 25th day, like 12/25 yesterday, they did this. They did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. I told you what they was doing on it. Sacrificing swine's flesh and all that stuff, man. Unclean beasts, just so they could defile us, so we wouldn't follow the laws of the Most High. Y'all look at, ain't nothing new under the sun, man. Come on. This ain't nothing new. They just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because they're the same people. Ain't no different. Listen. I got to bring this on home to you. Verse 59 again. Now the 25th day of the month, like yesterday, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. They put their idol altar on top of the altar of the Most High. You think the Most High ain't going to get them for that? At which time, listen what they did, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women. Certain you Israelite women were put to death that had caused their children to be circumcised. You see that? Certain women that caused their children to be circumcised. And this next part is terrible. And they hanged the infants about their necks. They hanged the infants about their necks, 8 days old. That's when a boy was circumcised. The 8th day, he was circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses. This was going on when you celebrating Christmas. You ain't thought about this. I think about it. Well, it's a terrible day in my mind. And they hanged their infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. That's for you women. They killed y'all. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. You hear that? What would you do if you're going to live if you eat pork? You're going to live if you eat shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, whatever abomination that they put in front of you. If you don't eat it, you're going to die. Think about it. How much do you read? So I can show you where Eleazar, he was 90 years old. He wouldn't do it. I can show you where a woman and her 7 sons each were tortured. They died rather than eating the abomination, knowing that they got something better coming to them for dying for the law of the Most High. That's why I say people not under the law. People ain't dealing with the Most High enough point blank talk about him. Let's more talk about his laws. Where can I go to find all the laws? You going over all the laws? Because I was looking, I want somebody to be going over the laws. I could, review with them. Why start going over them? Because we used to do it all the time, but I didn't see nobody at that time. We wasn't recording like you have the opportunity to record like this. Very important. You see, anybody that kept the law, they put them to death. That's the so-called white man. This wicked King Antiochus Epiphanes. That's what he did. That was ordained. And they hanged the infants about their necks. You look at them trees, man. I look at the trees. I remember one year I went to Target, and I went in there, and it was Christmas time, and I looked at the tree, man. They had all these faces all around the tree. And it just reminded me of this scripture here. They hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. Because this Christmas tree is nothing new. It didn't just start because you was born on this earth. They've been doing this way back in Genesis, all the way from Genesis all the way throughout our captivity and so forth. Pagans. I mean, all their gods are idols. Their Christmas trees are idols that Semiramis set up and said, if you don't bring gold and silver here, that Nimrod spirit gonna come and destroy you. Point blank. And we believe that. We're very superstitious, and people know that. It said, verse 52, howbeit many in Israel was fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing, wherefore they chose rather to die. This is Israelite. Wherefore they chose rather to die. You hear that? What kind of spirits we rolling with? Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, unclean meats. You can read about that in Leviticus 11 chapter. You want to know about the clean and unclean meats? You read that in Leviticus 11 chapter. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. Make the holy covenant unrighteous, man. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel. Then they killed us, man. So that's what you were celebrating yesterday. the devastation, destruction of our people on the 25th day of the month. You heard what it said. Can't get no clearer than that. Every 24th day, excuse me, every 25th day of the month, that's what they did. Jeremiah 25:6. Jeremiah 25:6. And go not after other gods to serve them and to worship them and to provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will not out and I will do you no hurt. Come on. You know the Most High like that? He said, and go not after other gods. A lot of these religions are dealing with other gods because they're not dealing with the Most High power. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Are they saying, hey, the Most High power of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar, Nasher, Are they telling you that? That's what the Most High say he is. He said, I love Jacob. Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel I just named. He said, I hated Esau. So you definitely don't like Esau. You know, so, and he don't, all the nations before him are nothing, it says in Isaiah 40:17. And less than nothing in vanity. What's less than nothing? You got nothing, can't see nothing, but they less than nothing being seen. That's what he said about the nations. So somebody got to break that down and mean that he loved them too. He loved everybody else. He don't say he loved everybody. He loved us, right? Look what we going through. Look what you've been through. Remember the world that began when you just was born. We got a history. We read our history right here. Same way it is then, same way it's now. Only say it's gonna be worse than it ever was in the world. Let me show you that, because y'all, a lot of y'all probably, I don't like to say nothing, and y'all looking at me like, yeah, weird. Where's that at? But you ain't asking no preacher nothing. You just regurgitate whatever he say, and he ain't doing no but lying to you. Here and there, you know, you got to have, we ate of the tree of good and evil, so you got to have a little good with the evil. So he put a little good things in there, but he put that evil in there, and you didn't recognize it because you recognize the good. You even see that's evil. This is what he said. Matthew 24. You believe in the Mashiach, verse 21. What did he say? But then, it's him speaking. He said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. You hear that? No ever shall be. He said gonna be great tribulation. The time we live in, y'all. Such as was not since the world, the beginning of the world. He went all the way back to Genesis 1:1. So ain't no time gonna be like the time that's gonna be in this world, these last days, y'all. Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. That's why he say, y'all gotta understand, he said it's gonna be like a woman in travail, like a woman having contractions when she having a baby. You know, they'd be far apart, they get closer and closer, but it's gonna be worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So you got no choice but to believe in the Most High, to cry to the Most High. Better get started now. You better understand, because he's the one's gonna be all in all, not us. Or you tell me you're gonna be all in all. Comment on that, because a lot of y'all so prideful, you think you're gonna be all in all. You put yourself already in the kingdom. Salvation to the Gentiles and salvation to Israel. You better be trying to, the Most High said, don't be curious how the wicked gonna be destroyed and win, but how the righteous gonna be saved. You better be trying to find a way that you're gonna be saved. Concerned about somebody else, that's all you're concerned about people to me. You better understand what he's saying. He said in verse 22, and except those days that we living in now should be shortened. Most High ain't coming shorten the days. There should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. He got his elect, man, whoever they are. He said the days gonna be shortened for his elect's sake. Other than that, he said, would no flesh be saved? Y'all hear that? What kind of tribulation is that? These are the elect. This is how you look at, put down elect. This is the definition of the elect. We went there earlier. Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect. You see? So the Israelites are the Most High's elect. because of the Israelites. A lot of y'all, y'all get caught up in Paul's writings. You don't understand Paul's writing. He's not going to go against the Mashiach Yahushua. Remember, Mashiach Yahushua made him on the road to Damascus and blinded his butt. He couldn't see. He blinded him. Think about that. Think about it. You blinded. You all hyped. He was Saul. He was all hyped. Anybody called on Bathsheba, Mashiach Yahushua, hey, kill him. He was killing him. He was part of that, right? And the Mashiach Yahushua made him on the road to Damascus and blinded him. They had to lead him around. Now, you think he ain't forgot that? You think about that. You blind, and you ain't never been blind, and you blinded. You paying for what you had done. He was on his way to kill anybody, that man, woman, or child that called on Bashama Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the Lord and Savior. And he was blinded. Oh yeah, he remembered that. I bet you remember that. He went. As a matter of fact, you look at my lesson on the persecution of the prophets. You see all that they went through. Man, they went through a lot. He said he's gonna suffer for his name's sake. Since he put people to death, put people in prison and so forth for his name's sake. Oh yeah, he suffered for his name's sake. That's what we're looking at, y'all. So if the Most High didn't make the time that we live in it now short for the elect's sake, he said, well, no flesh be saved. But for the elect, he gonna shorten the time, man. He got us elect. And this elect gonna be praising the Most High, I tell you that. Sincerely. They ain't gonna be praising the Most High and be like he called the Pharisees and scribes hypocrites. There's a lot of y'all hypocrites, straight up. I'll call a spade when I see a spade. And the Most High gonna deal with you, point blank. Believe that. We all gonna deal with something, but some of you gonna get more. Because you're doing things that's wicked and you praying like you righteous. And you're not. Jeremiah 25:6. And go not after other gods to serve them and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. See, and you look at this, we in captivity under the Babylonians. Then we went in captivity under the Persian Medes. Now, what we just read in First Maccabees was in the Greek Empire. You see? So he's telling us way back here. It says, yet ye have not hearkened unto me, said the Most High. We ain't listen to him. Like you don't listen to him now. That ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt. That's what people are doing right now, man. We're doing things and following these traditions of men to our own hurt. It's wrong. But people gonna do what they're gonna do. That's why look at Matthew 15, Matthew the 15th chapter. People gonna do what they do. They're gonna follow what it is, because y'all a bunch of robots and robotees. I hate to say it, but I know some of y'all probably don't like it, but so what? I'm just telling the truth. Because where you get following Christmas from? Somebody told you to follow this. Matthew 15:3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye not also transgress the commandment of the Most High by your tradition? Why do you transgress the commandment of the Most High by following the tradition of Christmas? But the Most High commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curses father or mother, let him die to death. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. And that, don't y'all give gifts on Christmas? Don't y'all allow your parents, they got that tree in the house, don't you allow your parents to bow down before that idol tree? And put that, you done put the present under there, or they done got the present from you and put it right, go take to the living room, but what they do, they bow down and put it under that tree. They get on their knees and they bow down their head to that tree. Do y'all understand that? I mean, this, it don't take a rocket scientist to understand this. Little children understood this. I taught this to little children, they understood this. Now, how come y'all can't get it? When you put a present under the tree, what do? You get on your knees and you take it, and if you depending on how far you got to go back to the tree, how wide the tree is, it might be a big tree like this. You got to go that far to put it right up under the stump. And then you get another present, you put it under, you bow down, and you on your knees, and you put it under that tree. And then when you get the tree, when you get the present from under the tree, you gotta bow on your knees and you bow down again to that tree. Whoop, that's an idol. Come on. We went over there in Jeremiah 10, 1 through 5, man. It's an idol. But here we are. We following commandments of men. That's why they say in honor, it says verse 6, it says, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your tradition. See, always some traditions of men. It's always traditions of men. Christmas is a tradition of men. You hypocrites. Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, this people drive nigh unto me with their mouth. I love my Jesus. I love, because they don't know the Most High, because they think Jesus is the Most High. This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor of me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And that's real. Your mind is far from it. Else you would be telling them all praises. You wouldn't put no APTTMH, definitely TMH, and you done typed all these words out for somebody to understand whatever it is that you feel, like the way you feel in your writings and so forth. And then you're going to put him as an initial. Did he abbreviate you? Huh? Talk to me. How would you like it? Your name was A, Z. He might call you your name, whatever it is, your initials. Abbreviate you. Did he abbreviate you? No, he didn't. When he abbreviated us. He didn't abbreviate us. He gave us power to be the sons of the Most High. And we have a name. And our names are written in the book of life. Or our names are written to be cast into the lake of fire. Either or. That's the only two choices you have. Book of life, lake of fire. Which one you going to choose? You think it's not important? You think he's not important? It's very important, this people draw nigh me unto me with their mouth and honor of me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Their mind is far from him. A lot of y'all trying to be somebody. Y'all want to be somebody in hell. Y'all want to be somebody in this damn nation. You trying to really be someone. I could care less. I want the people to hear what the scripture is saying and what it is that the Spirit is bringing forth out of this Bible. And what I'm going to bring forth as history or archaeology, whatever it is that I bring forth, that I can validate from the scriptures. Other than that, man, it's a waste of time. He said, your mind is far from him. If your mind is far from him, how is it that, tell me this, if you think about him, why is it that you don't talk about him? He ain't in your conversation. But my, they did this, they did that. Nothing in your conversation with him except when he do something great for you. That's our people. When is it that you down and out, you praising the Most High? You better learn to do that. He the one that got you out there. He blessed the good and he blessed the great, whatever, and the unjust, man. Better praise the Most High. I know that. That's what he said. He said, your heart, your mind is far from it, he said. But in vain do they worship me, teaching the doctrines, the commandments of men. See? That's why he said. And he called a multitude of people and said to them, hear and understand. This is what I'm going to tell you. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. And a lot of things that come out of a man's mouth that have you follow how they would have you follow. That's why I say, look, Colossians 2:8. I better hear this. Colossians 2:8. Just what we have done, man. We subject to all of this. Colossians 2:8. Beware. You better be cautious. He said, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy. Any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Worthless lies. Vain deceit. After tradition of men, what we just read about. Most people are following tradition of men. Christmas. Come on, that's tradition of men. After the rudiments of the world. So you have the rudiments of the world. You following the world and not after a Mashiach Yahushua. Or show me why Mashiach Yahushua celebrated Christmas. Show me why Mashiach Yahushua said celebrate his birthday. And that's not his birthday. That's the birthday of Nimrod. That's the birthday of the sun god. It's dealing with the winter solstice, like 1221. It goes from 1221 to 1/6, the first month, the sixth day. When they on the 21st, to that point, all these times they have a humanized sacrifice, what they call humanized sacrifice. And it's the shortest day, so they look at the sun coming back while they worship in the sun. Because you have the shortest day, they looking at the sun, it's getting dark, earlier on this, that, or third. So they looking at the sun coming back, so they worship in the sun. All the gods of the nations are idols, but the Most High made the heavens. Why he said it in Psalm 96:5? He said it because they worship in the sun, the moon, the stars, the comets, you name it. They worship in everything, but not the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But they're going to worship him. That would say, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. That's why Ecclesiasticus 3:24 says what? For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion overthrown their judgment. They allow the devil to come in and overthrow their judgment. While you could care less. But you're going to really remember when that fire hit you, because most eyes are consuming fire. You're going to remember, and you cannot, I don't know, y'all join unto them, you're going to fall with them. That's what the Most High say. You join to these sinners, you're going to fall right with them. Ain't no compromising this, y'all. Y'all got to understand this. This is serious. If he calls you and you've been learning this truth, you have an obligation to do what's right and say what's right. You can't go backwards. We can't go backwards. You backwards. Now you got to work to be forward again. Come on. You got to do what's right. That's why I say, don't be fooled, man, by philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of this world, and not after Mashiach. James 4:4. You adulterers and adulteresses, you men that are going against the Most High's word, following this idolatrous holiday of Christmas. And adulterers, you women that's going against the Most High's word and following Christmas. Because that's fornication. That's spiritual fornication. Spiritual adultery is going against his commandments and his word. Know ye not that the friendship of the world, Christmas, that's friendship of the world. Everybody doing it, so you friendship of the world. You following where the heathen. Friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High. That means you at war with him. If you are a friend of this world and doing the things that the world offers you to do, when I've told you, you got holy days. The Most High's holy days. Leviticus 23rd chapter. We have calendars that let you know when these days are happening. New moon every month that we celebrate. That no matter where you at, you should be following this. I did it right here with everybody online, whatever, and whoever was around me at that time, by myself, with everybody online. There's no excuse. You can do this, whether you by yourself or you can gather, you can't gather, you're still supposed to be doing it. That's why I say you're adulterers and adulteresses. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? You at war with him. Hebrews 10:31, y'all know that class. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. My Shai said, hey, when you in the Most High's hand, you can't get out of his hand. Your friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High. I mean, you at war with him. You ready to box with the Most High? They said, hey, whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. So you follow the way of the world, you're the enemy of the Most High, he said. Can't put it no clearer. So you're the enemy of the Most High. And you're going to find yourself in a battle, in a fight with the Most High. What you going to do when he come for you? What's your plan? What's your plan to get out of his hand? Jeremiah 44. What's your plan? Help me out. Maybe you can help the whole nation. This is the plan to get out of the hand of the Most High. You can't handle me. My God is all love. Okay. You think so? Look, let me show you something. Because I know y'all was having a good time yesterday. I've been there before, so it ain't nothing I don't know about. It's been so long, such a long time ago, And it's something I could say is it's been so many years, man, but I love it because we have other things that we do, a lot of times I have to be reminded of these days, these hella days, right? Look what it says in Amos 5:21. You put your Christmas, said the Most High love it. This is what he said. He said, I hate. So the Most High do hate. He said, I despise your feast days, Christmas. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. When you pray, say, I ain't hearing that. I ain't smelling nothing. Because the Most High love the smell of the vapor of the sacrifice. Look what he said. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, your big old fat turkey, and you got your big fat, you got your honey glazed ham. I remember I see this place where they sell honey glazed ham. They make all kind of money. They be lined up all down the street, all around the corner, everywhere, right? Buying a honey glazed ham, right? That's what Moses said. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts, your fat turkeys that you cooked, your fat honey glazed ham that he hate. He said, take thou away from me the noise of thy songs. Silent night, holy night. Take away from me the sound of your songs, he said. You don't want to hear what you got to sing. Oh, Christmas tree. Take away from me the noise of thy songs, he said. Now, you think the Most High hearing that? You what he said? Take away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. You better hear what he's saying. He said, but let judgment, hear what he said? You know what that judgment is? Punishment for not doing what he said do. He said, but let judgment run down as waters. That judgment is going to run down as waters, and righteousness, the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, as a mighty stream. Man, you better overstand this. Now let's go to, now we know the Most High don't like none of y'all for keeping Christmas. And you that are Israelites and you kept it with somebody that kept it, you're going to get beat with more stripes than them. You say, much to give, much required. Hey, you know better, you better do better. Let's go back to Jeremiah 44. Jeremiah 44 and verse 8. And that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt. And this is spiritual Egypt right here. Let me show you that. Revelations 11 and 8. And we in Egypt right now. Let me show you quick, fast, and hurry. Revelations 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, talking about America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Why Sodom? Because men with men, women with women, and so forth. in Egypt, where also our Hamashiach Yahushua was crucified. I mean, come on. Here it is right here. They still saying that this is Hamashiach Yahushua. They coming up with a new movie that shows that Hamashiach Yahushua is a so-called white man. I mean, over and over again. I went to the store and they have that picture on the magazine saying that it is Hamashiach Yahushua, the one of the Bible, and that's a lie. That man named Caesar Borgia, the second son of Pope Alexander VI, Rodrigo Borgia. That's who he is, man. But our people, they believe the lie. Y'all believe it all. Every time you look around, y'all doing the same thing every year. You ain't got nothing else to do. And we telling you, and some of you have no excuse. That's why you're going to really get it, because you have been to holy convocations. And now you're going back to Christmas and New Year's and Easter and Valentine's Day and all that. You're going to really get you. Because he called you and you gave him the middle finger, like y'all that say that you're not under the law, you giving the Most High your middle finger too. Y'all better recognize, man. It's serious. He said, and the dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, talking about America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Hamashiach Yahushua was crucified. You see. And why is Egypt? Look at Deuteronomy 28:68. What does it say there? Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt, talking about we, the 12 tribes of Israel. Again, how? With ships. What people came into slavery, bondage, and captivity on slave ships, if it's not us? What people were taken off their land here in this Western Hemisphere and sailed to another land on ships and sold, if it's not us? As a nation, I'm talking about as a nation. And the Most High shall bring them to Egypt, with me captivity, slavery, and bondage. Again, another time with ships. Because the first time we walked into Egypt, we came into Egypt with 70 souls, when Joseph was already there, right under the Pharaoh. The Most High shall bring them to Egypt again with ships. So America is Egypt. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And we haven't seen our land of Israel as a nation again. And there, when you go on these ships, you shall be sold unto your enemies. For what? For bondmen and bondwomen, slave men and slave women. And no man shall buy you. Buyers mean nobody can redeem you from this condition that we put ourselves in for breaking the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. He told us he's going to do this to us way back here in the wilderness. And it happened to us starting from 1492 on. Ain't no 1619 from when Columbus came over here, he took us off our land and sold us back and sold us straight up, just like that, for money, over and over again. So America is Egypt too. And what does Egypt mean? Slavery, captivity, and bondage. That's what Egypt means, point blank. And see, here we are following Christmas, and you're dealing with worshiping the sun first and foremost, and the son of Canaan, Nimrod. That's his birthday. That's what you worshiping. And the Most High told us, go to Exodus 20, and let's start at verse 1. This is the law. He said, and the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High, thy power. Thy is a personal, this is your personal possessive pronoun showing ownership to the Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. That's what Egypt means. Bondage, captivity, slavery, and bondage. And we just made the Most High going to send thee into Egypt again. That means captivity, slavery, and bondage with ships. We the only people that happened to, y'all. While we know we the Israelites. It says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. It's the commandments right here, the 10 commandments right here in Exodus 20th chapter. So we're supposed to have no other powers before him, no other idols before him, nothing comes before him. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. And you bow down to that Christmas tree. Every time you put a present under there, every time you get a present from under it, you bow down to that Christmas tree, which is a god. With Semiramis, Nimrod's wife / mother, said, if you don't bring gifts and put it under this tree, gold and silver, that Nimrod's going to destroy you. It was considered a god. I went over this. Go back into, my lesson on Christmas. You'll see. It was a god. You can read Jeremiah 10, 1-5. Most I say they cannot hurt you. They can't speak. You got to be carried. Talking about a Christmas tree. Going all the way back to Genesis, the 11th chapter on. I mean, these practices were happening. That's why we in Jeremiah, and you see he's talking about these things now. Right then in the Babylonian Empire. We in captivity. Then we're going through the Persian Medes, following the same thing, because all the gods of the nations are idols, and we follow whatever they do. That's why I say, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, verse 5, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. So when you do these things, you hate the Most High. Straight up. That's what he's telling you. And showing mercy, that's not getting something you do deserve to get. That's mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You see that? That's what it's talking about right there. And that's what y'all doing when you celebrate these holidays, man. Christmas. Most I have nothing to do with that. He hate that. Like you just said, I hate your feast days. He also said, go back to Amos. He also said this. But the Most High talk to you, because y'all want to hear much of what I have to say or anybody else have to say. That's bringing forth this truth. Amos 5:14, to say, see good and not evil. Right? So what's good? Y'all should know that by heart. All praise to the Most High. You turn it pretty much there. Romans 7:12. What's good? He said, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. You see? So he said, seek good. Seek the commandment. Seek the law of the Most High. And not evil. Something that's contrary to the laws, the statutes, and commandments of the Most High, like Christmas. It's evil, y'all. That ye may live. That ye may live. And so the Most High, the power of hosts, power of army of angels, shall be with you as ye have spoken, man. Come on. Hate the evil, he said. Hate. So you have a right to hate the evil like Christmas, because it have our people going astray from the Most High, and y'all worshiping the sun like the pagans are worshiping the sun. That's why they was like, the pagans was like pissed off at y'all Christmas sanity people that's dealing with Christmas. He said, it's our day. Y'all done took our day away from us, knowing that they believe that way. Y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all just, like I say, a bunch of robots and robotees, man. Y'all spiritually discerned, and you are slow with ADHD spiritually. Or you can see this. Do your research. Come on. Hate the evil and love the good. I'm going to hate the evil. I'm going to love what the Most High wrote with his finger, his laws, statutes, commandments, his laws and his commandments. That's what's good. We just read that. And established judgment in the gate. And that's where the elders were, in the gate, bringing the judgment. People come to them, they brought a judgment according to the laws of the Most High, according to the commandments of the Most High, according to this Bible. It may be that the Most High power, whole power of army of angels will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. That's the northern tribes right there, y'all. Straight up. And he said, hey, leave them alone. They deal with idolatry. It was pretty bad. But at the same time, they still got a chance to come back in. Do right. Start following the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High. He's going to bring us together. He don't need everybody. But he's going to bring us together. We're going to be together. Jeremiah 44, verse 8. And that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands. burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whether ye go, whether ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off. You hear that? That's how you cut yourself off from the Most High, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach. That's a disgrace among all the nations of the earth. He asked me the question, just what we want? Come on. He said, have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers and the wickedness of the kings of Judah and the wickedness of their wives and your own wickedness and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? Look what he said. They are not humble, meaning they're very prideful, even unto this day. Neither have they feared nor walked in my law. You know what he said? They ain't feared. You say, neither have they walked in the law of the Most High, man. Y'all taught me ain't done the law. That's why y'all follow some dang on Christmas. Nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. See what we know. They read us the Negro Bible. They took the laws out of the Negro Bible in slavery. They had something called the religious instruction to the Negroes in the United States of America. United States of America. In 1620. They said we came here in 1619. They had something that would program us and how we would follow religion in 1620. And what do? Until this day, we follow in suit with what they told us we would follow. Look it up. The religious instruction to the Negroes in the United States of America. How to program us to follow what it is they say. Manual. Turn to your neighbor and say this. Don't they do that today? Turn to your neighbor and say this. Repeat after me. That the overseer done told the preacher of what he got to tell the people to get them programmed. Your brain polluted. Well, we trying to clean you up. I'm your alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up, but it ain't gonna never go off. You gonna keep it moving on you. You cut it off, you cutting the Most High order off. You cut them off. Understand this. You gotta stay awake. You stay awake, then you be on point. You won't be slow no more. You're gonna have ADHD spiritually. You're gonna be on it. That's what Most High want, man. Or you remain in the congregation of the dead, as the scriptures say. You got an opportunity. Choose one way or the other. I got to read verse 10 again. Jeremiah 44:10. They are not humble. See, these women, they didn't humble themselves. They were very prideful. They said, we're going to do like we want to do. When we went through this whole chapter, you go back to look at my first lesson on this Christmas this year. You see, we went through this whole chapter. I'm just reviewing right now. They are not humble. They are not humble, meaning they are prideful. Even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. You know, look at, that's why they say they ain't humble, right? What the Most High say? Go to us spirit, boy. So much that they would say. You turn the Bible and go right there where you need to go. That's only the Most High, because I ain't been here. Y'all know, y'all look at my lesson. I ain't been here in a long time, so I ain't been here. But all praise to the Most High. Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. Wow, man, wow. All praise to the Most High. Wow. You turn the page, you'd be right there. Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. Verse 16, they say, moreover, when we say they're not humble, right? Say, moreover, the Most High said, because the daughters of Zion, the women of our nation Israel are haughty. Haughty being, you prideful, thinking that you are all that. And you are all that, We got the baddest women in the world. I mean, he said, the daughters of Zion are haughty, prideful, and walk with stretched forth necks. You know how y'all do y'all necks. Y'all be doing, I can't do it, but you know how they be doing their neck like, what you saying? You know how y'all do y'all neck, stretched forth neck and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, making a tingling with their feet, had them them ankle bracelets on. Therefore, the Most High will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. And the Most High will discover their secret parts. Woo. That means He's going to make your hair short. Your hair ain't going to be like it should be. In that day, the Most High would take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their galls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. Y'all decked out, man. I mean, I was, you think we doing something now? It said the rings and the nose jewels, had nose jewels, like y'all come back into, you know, the changeable suits of apparel, had all kind of clothes to wear. I mean, the Most High, when you read Ezekiel, I showed you Ezekiel 16 chapter, the Most High decked us out. So that made the nation jealous of us. Come on, that's why when we went to war, they definitely want us to lose to get our spoils, man. You looking like us? Come on, from the Most High decking us out. Are y'all ready for that? I don't think y'all probably can't imagine that. It said He taking all this away: the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pin. That's straightening arms, irons, the glasses. You had glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. Come on, you got to think in your mind. We are rolling with the Most High power. He's rolling with us. Got the prophets talking to us, dealing with us, and He decked us out, you know, with fine linen and silk and embroidery from Him. You know what I mean? Like how He wanted us to be. Come on now. I mean, we had earrings and gold, the best gold of Ophir. Everybody was jealous of us, man. And here we are turning to these other nations, want to be like them. And they less than us in every way, shape, and form when the Most High said He's going to put us above our nations. We just keep the commandments of the Most High. But we didn't. We chose to be down in the gutter with the other nations and want a king like they had. Most I said, I'm your king over and over again. That's why He said, but the daughters of Zion didn't what? Humble themselves. Therefore He said, you're haughty. It was prideful. And that's what He said, we're going to do what we want to do. We're going to do whatever our mouth said we're going to do. And He got a result. He said the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods, verse 23, and the veils, He said, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, y'all used to smell sweet, there shall be stink. Instead of you smelling sweet, He said, what He said in verse 17, therefore the Most High will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, of our women, and the Most High will discover their secret parts. That's between your legs. See what He said. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness. No matter how you look at it, no matter how much hair you have, you're supposed to have double that amount. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. You see that? And for the men, that's what He did to you women, as an Israelite woman. Because y'all walking around prideful, say he didn't feel no humility. We just read that in Jeremiah. So I just brought you here to show you what happened to you. You're brought down to be butt naked, really. And you can see it when you're taken into captivity. Look at what He said for the men. 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. You see? We fought. We just gone no captivity. But what happened to the men? What they do? They ain't stop their women from making them cakes to the Queen of Heaven this time of year, doing all the baking and stuff like that. They ain't stopping from doing it. So He said the men gonna fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. So He's supposed to be doing that, y'all. And her gates shall lament and mourn. That's where the elders were. No elders is bring forth no judgment. And she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. Gonna sit on the ground. Have no power. That's what He's telling us, man. We ain't do what He said do. That's judgment. For real. Proverbs 28 and 14. Proverbs 28 and 14. That's why we have a power of powers, man. Proverbs 28 and 14. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. You hear that? Happy is the man that feareth always. And you're supposed to fear the Most High. That's the beginning of wisdom. But he that hardeneth his heart, you harden your mind, shall fall into mischief. He got something for your butt. Believe that. You're going to fall into mischief. You're going to do the wrong thing. And there's a consequence behind doing the wrong thing. So you're going to fall into mischief. And think about what you're going to be doing. You know, it's going to be calamity. And that's what he said, look at, go back to Proverbs 1 and 7. Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. And knowledge is the gathering of the right information. That's knowledge. You're gathering the right information. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom. Wisdom is how you apply the information, the right information that you have gathered, the righteous information that you have gathered to have knowledge. And wisdom is how you apply this knowledge in your life. And instruction, being instructed in what to do. You don't like instruction. People that don't like instruction, they're most likely gonna kill you straight up. You're gonna fall by the sword. Like he said, ain't no evil gonna come near us. You're gonna fall. You say you're gonna make it by yourself? No. This ain't no individual thing, man. This is about our nation. We're a nation. That's why they have us all jacked up now. It's too much individual. Listen, where all the camps that have, growing and so forth, all praise to the Most High, man. Because we got to do that. Some of you, you individualists, man. Y'all got to be by yourself. No, he wants to be together. But, some people, they can't really handle that because they're too, like you say, too prideful. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Can't tell them nothing. And I can go all into that. Y'all know I'll go into that. Psalm 51 and 17. Psalm 51 and 17. He call you a fool, man. You think you ain't got to fear the Most High. Psalm 51 and 17. The sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart, O Most High, thou wilt not despise. You see, the Most High wants us to be humble before him. The sacrifices of the Most High are broken spirit, are a broken spirit. That's humility. A broken and a contrite heart, a broken and a contrite mind, O Most High, thou wilt not despise. That's why he told us in Romans 12 and 1. Mashiach Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice for the atonement of the 12 tribes of Israel's sins. Now he told us this in Romans 12 and 1. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, talking to the Israelites, by the mercies of the Most High, mercies, not mercy, but mercies, not getting something you deserve to get many a times, of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. That's what we have to do now. We have to present our bodies a living sacrifice. Holy, we define holy in Romans 7 and 12, right? Let's define it again, just in case somebody's coming in brand new. This defines holy, Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good, right? So it's telling you, he's telling you, I beseech you, but therefore, brethren, Romans 12 and 1, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, meaning keeping the laws of the Most High, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service, you see? So the Most High want our bodies to be a living sacrifice, and he wants us to have a broken and contrite spirit, man, humble before him. Shoot, this name is jealous, y'all. I don't know how you think you're going to, that's why I say Psalm 51 and 17, the sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart, a broken and a contrite mind of humility, O Most High, thou will not despise. See? You're not going to despise that. But you think you can just get away with whatever you think you can get away with, then hey, more power to you. But Isaiah 8 and 20. Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And what's that light? Y'all should know that. What's the light? If they speak not according to the word of the Bible, there's no light in them. What's the light? And shalom to everyone entering into the room. And y'all give a like and share the video. Well, it's very important. It's a lot of great information that's coming out through the Spirit of the Most High. I'm going to go over it myself and review it myself, because what I'm giving you, I don't have. So a lot of times I go back and review myself. Proverbs 6:23. It says, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. See? So it tell you, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. So what is the light? For the commandment is a lamp, Proverbs 6:23, and the law is light. So the law that the Most High wrote with his finger is the light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. But if you can't be instructed, you ain't dealing with the way of life. You dealing with the way of death, straight up. Either life or death, right? You just said fools hate instruction. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. That's why it says, to the law and to the testament, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. The laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High, not in them. And think about this, y'all. Peep this. It's very important, man, how we can be rolling around and don't realize this. In 2 Corinthians 11:14. This is what has happened to a lot of our people that follow Christmas and these other pagan holidays and all that. It's a 2 Peter 11:14. Look what it say. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. You see that? To the law, to the testament, they speak not according to this word, is because there's no light in them. The law is not in Satan. He can't deal with the law. Hamashiach rebuked him when he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights every single time with the law. You gotta understand it, but y'all, it's spiritual. But if you want to try and do it some other way, try it. See if it worked for you. I know Hamashiach, he rebuked Satan by the law. He went to the law every single time. He had to leave him alone. Look what it says. It says, for no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light, pretending like he's bringing forth the truth to you. The light, the law. He pretend like he's bringing forth what you need to know, excuse me, to get close to the Most High, and he's sending you straight further away from him. And that's some of these leaders, preachers, whoever. Don't matter who it is. If your first objective is not about how we don't want to offend the Most High in any way, shape, or form, then you a hypocrite. I don't care what position you call yourself in this world, man. He come first. That's the order of things. The Most High, Mashiach, the other side, then man, then woman. Straight up. And y'all following hypocrites. Y'all better wake up. You know, this could be your last calling, man. But no marvels for Satan himself. Satan, the enemy, adversary, foe, himself is transformed into an angel of light, pretending like he's, you pretend like he's the Mashiach Yahushua, right? Ain't that what they did? Ain't that what they did here? Huh? Talk to me. I mean, last I seen, St. John, the first chapter. Let's find out. I mean, it's coded, but the code is real simple when you really understand precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, and the spirit of the Most High. This is what it says. St. John, the first chapter, verse 4. In him, Mashiach Yahushua, was life, and the life was the light of men. So his life, how he lived and not sinning, not breaking the Most High's commandment, is the light, which is the laws, statutes, commandments of men that we supposed to be following. And the light shineth in darkness. So he's in the Roman Empire. And we just went from the Greek Empire. Y'all can go back and look at this, or you're just coming in late. You can go back and look at this whole lesson. You'll see that we was in the Greek Empire, and we've been in the Babylonian Empire. Only empire we wasn't in was the Persian and Mede. That was in between the Babylonian Empire. We in captivity under all these empires too. We went from the Babylonian Empire to the Greek Empire. Now we in the Roman Empire. That's why he's saying what? From all that, if you go back and look of what they were dealing with, setting up as the so-called white man first kingdom, all the way coming into the Romans, changing the name. That's all they did, change the names. Romulus and Remus, they were raised by some she-wolf. And Romulus said, hey, I want the people to be named Romans. He said, no, let us stay like it is, the Greeks. And he killed his brother, just like Cain killed Abel. You know, like Esau vowed to kill Jacob, you know. And they're doing that right now. They have perpetual hatred against the children of Israel, as it says in Ezekiel 35:5. So look, here we are. In him was life, and the light was the light of men. Remember, Satan appeared as an angel of light, right? So that's why I showed you the picture of Caesar Borgia. So, and the light shined in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. You see that? So what is he saying? That's hip talk. The light shined up in darkness. The light, if you had a light on, you turn the light off, you in darkness, right? So the light, him being that light, showing us how it's supposed to be and keeping the Most High's commandments, an example, shining in darkness. How dark do you think it was? When the Most High told Esau this right here, he in the so-called white man's kingdom. They the ones to kill him, put him to death. The superpower of earth, which is the Romans, they the ones put him to death. So here we are right here in darkness. Why? Isaiah 47:5. Sit thou silent. He's talking to the Edomites. It says, sit thou silent, be quiet, shut up, and get thee into darkness. You see? Mashiach in the Roman Empire, the so-called white man's second empire, the Roman Empire. Listen what he says. Sit thee silent, be quiet, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. Talk about America, right? So when they went into darkness, Isaiah 60. That's why y'all following, that's why I call y'all robots and robotees, man. Spiritually discerned. I mean, y'all don't have it. You slow and with spiritual ADHD, man. Look what it is. They keep, most I said, get in the darkness. That's ignorance, not knowing. And when they went into darkness, that's what they did to the people. That's why Mashiach Shai is saying what he's saying right there. Is talking about this in Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, which is ignorance, not knowing. And gross darkness to people, gross ignorance, gross not knowing the people until this day. But the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And his glory is a Mashiach Yahushua. That's why he said in verse 1, arise. He said, arise, shine. He said, for thy light is come. You hear that? That light is come. And the glory of the Most High is risen upon thee. But it ain't risen upon everybody because John 1:5. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. That's real clear. I mean, anybody that been looking at my teaching should know. The darkness comprehended not. He told who he told to get into darkness? Esau. So we look at Wisdom of Solomon 5, when salvation is coming on this earth to the Israelites. Do what they're gonna say. This is what they're gonna say. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7. They're going to say, we weird ourselves in a way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. You hear that? They're going to say, we have not known the way of the Most High. That's when salvation is coming on this earth, period. That's why he said in St. John 1 and 5, the light shine up in darkness, right? Because they put the people in gross darkness, gross ignorance, not knowing until this day. Why do you think they got the History Channel, the Discovery Channel? You go on the news, even Trump says fake news. I mean, it's fake. It ain't real. That's darkness, ignorance, not knowing. And the light shine up in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. The people that's in darkness are going to comprehend this. Because there was a man sent from the Most High whose name was John. This John the Baptist, Mashiach's cousin. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, who was a Mashiach Yahushua, to show shine bright. Somebody say, rise, shine. That's why we able to shine, to be like a Mashiach Yahushua who did not sin. That's the whole point. That light is the law of the Most High, commandments of the Most High. And that's what he came to be, that light, to show that it could happen. He came just like any other man. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, talking about John the Baptist, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which light up every man that cometh into the world, okay? Now that's the Mashiach Yahushua. So now we're looking at 2 Corinthians. Now that we clearly see that Mashiach Yahushua was the example of the light, the laws of the Most High, keeping the commandments of the Most High, but those that have ears to hear and those that can understand 2 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve, way back in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach Yahushua. This ain't deep, y'all. This is simple. The simplicity that is in Hamashiach Yahushua, Bashama Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Simple, man. This is not a hard thing. It's just you want to have that deep spirit to be able to look at deep things when it's really simple. It's really simple. This is a child. I'm telling you, I can teach a child and they can understand. How come y'all can't understand? They get it. They get it. It says in verse 14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. You see that? Satan himself then transformed his brother to an angel of light. Here he is. Bam. An angel of light. Come on now. You can't deny this. That's why I say Mashiach was crucified right here in America. It says, verse 15, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers, so Satan have ministers, also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. So that's really deep, because when you hear people say keep the laws, which keep you right, which makes you righteous, and he says he got ministers that work for Satan that transform themselves into ministers of righteousness. So let's look up righteousness. We know it's in Deuteronomy 6:25. It's also in Psalms 119, 172. Just define righteousness. Psalms 119, 172. My tongue shall speak of thy words, for all thy commandments are righteousness. You see that? The commandments are to make you righteous. So they appearing like they're telling you to keep the commandments. You know, keep the commandments. You know, you got to keep the commandments, but they are ministers of Satan. Do y'all see this? Or it's too simple? The simplicity of a Mashiach Yahushua makes it too simple, right? This is real. And right now, I just can't understand how you can justify in the things that we say. I mean, the religions, that's already out the window. They're already gone. I mean, y'all need to come out of these religions. Most times, it gives no religion. So mainly, I'm talking to the leaders that are of our nation, that's over churches, camps, whoever, whatever, that they understand that Satan have ministers that appear, look what I say, ministers of righteousness. So that really gets deep. It cuts into us as Israelites, because the church is not teaching to keep the laws of the Most High, are they? What church is keep the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws? What church? What congregation? What religion? None of them. None of them saying keep the laws of the Most High. We're the ones. So Satan got ministers that's transformed as the ministers of righteousness. Come on now. We're the ones teaching about righteousness. We're the only ones talking about keeping the laws and the commandments of the Most High, whose end shall be according to their works. You know, they ain't gonna be according to their works, man, because they're hypocrites. That's why Mashiach was talking about hypocrites. That was the Israelites he was talking to, you know. And Satan got ministers. That's why it says, verse 13, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of a Mashiach, like they wrote it with a Mashiach Yahushua, but they are false apostles, deceitful workers, mean they liars. They working with Satan. And they seem like they're working with the Most High, but certain things are clear to me. Ain't no way in the world nobody gonna ever have me not praise the Most High. I done praised it when I was jacked up, really jacked up, still praising the Most High. All praise the Most High. I thought, well, I'm getting paid. I'm paying. Like I say, I always say, you pay now, pay later. I said, I'm paying. I guess I'm gotta pay for whatever it is that I did, you know, whatever that was, you know, in the past or the present, whatever it is. All I know is I feel that the Most High chastising him that he loved, and he still get you for something I did wrong or you did wrong or whatever. Just like that, anywhere in the world, still come from the Most High. That's why I say, for such a false apostle, deceitful workers, man, transforming themselves into the apostles of a Mashiach. You gotta understand that. That's with us. He's talking to us. He talking to nobody else. He's talking to us. We the Israelites. You know, don't get it twisted. You know, I always point the finger at somebody else. No, he's talking about us. Point blank. Look, 2 Corinthians 1:1, Paul, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua by the will of the Most High, and Timothy, our brother, unto the church of the Most High, which is at Corinth, living in the land of Corinth. Let's look at that word church. Who the church? How you define the church? Write down church. That's how you define the church. See, words I'm giving you in definitions according to the scriptures can help you when you see words keep you out of the deceit and the lies that's been taught in people that don't believe in the truth. We go into Acts 7:38. Hey, just a moment. Hold on. I want to make sure things all right. Okay, I'm back. So it said to the church, right? That's in Corinth, living in the land of Corinth, calling themselves Corinthians. So Acts 7:38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. So the church represent the Israelites. Point blank. That's church. Defined right there. That's why it's so important for us to see this and, you know, operate accordingly, because when you know how to go through the first parts, I mean, just you can go any chapter that Paul is writing, you can go to the first parts of the book and it'll explain who was talking to, period. 2 Corinthians. That's why, you know, I lost a lot of heathen just now because they left. So they're hearing this, they don't want to hear this. But 2 Corinthians 1:1. In any of the chapters of the New Testament, you can go there and you can see that it proves who it's talking to. Paul, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, by the will of the Most High, and Timothy, our brother, unto the church. We know the church represents the Israelites of the Most High, which is at Corinth, right? Living in the land of Corinth, calling themselves by the land that they're living in, Corinthians, because of what? Remember, it was against the law for us to keep the law of the Most High. You be put to death. You were found with the Bible. You were put to death, you know? And also, I got to let you know here, in Second Maccabees, still in the Greek Empire, this is the Roman Empire that Paul's in. We're in, by the time you get to Matthew, all the way to Revelation, you're in the Roman Empire. But this is what was happening in Second Maccabees 6. We start at verse 4. This was happening in the Greek Empire when we in captivity under the Greeks, right? Look at 2 Maccabees 6:1. Not long after this, the king, that's wicked King Antiochus Epiphanes that we talked about earlier, sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers. You know, we didn't celebrate no Christmas. We didn't celebrate all that. But he sent a king to have us, everything is about us not following the laws of the Most High. The laws that he wrote with his finger unto this day. All religions are saying we're not under the law. They say that all the time. You hear that. They've been programmed. Their brain's been polluted. You hear what it said? He sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High. That's what the whole objective is. You don't live after the laws of the Most High, then you ain't dealing with the Most High. Simple as that. Verse 4. For the temple was filled with riot. Remember they we read earlier how they took their altar and put it on top of the altar of the Most High. So the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles who dallied with harlots, that's prostitutes, in the temple, and had to deal with women within the circuit of the holy places. They was having sex in the temples, selling their bodies. Harlots is prostitutes, selling their bodies and having sex in the temple. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful, unclean beasts and so forth, we read. The altar also was filled with profane and unholy things, which the law forbiddeth. So everything they did was to have us break the law, as it is today. Listen, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. That's why we're reading here Corinthians. Why you're going to read Philippians? You're going to read Thessalonians. You're going to read Romans. Because those are Israelites that are scattered in those land. It was against the law to call yourself an Israelite. And what if you want to call yourself an Israelite? This is the Greek Empire. You got hundreds of years that we going through before they even called themselves Rome, before Mashiach even came on the scene. And Paul either. So here it is. It said, if you did call yourself an Israelite, in verse 9, it says, and whosoever would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. So you had to follow these customs. Then might a man have seen the great misery. Have seen the great misery. Straight up. So that's in the Greek Empire. So by the time you come here, Paul's in the Roman Empire. After the Greek Empire. Hundreds of years later, here he is right here saying what he's saying, while we in the land of Corinth calling ourselves what? Corinthians. It should be easier. Simplicity of a Mashiach Yahushua. It's real simple. Listen, I'm going to show you. You can do this in any New Testament chapters. 2 Corinthians 1:1. Paul, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, by the will of the Most High, and Timothy, our brother, unto the church of the Most High, which is at Corinth, the land of Corinth, with all the saints which are in all Achaia. So who are the saints? He said, with all the saints, right? Who are the saints? These are words that you learn to define by the Bible. Can't gainsay on it. Psalms 148:14 defines the saints. He also exalted the horn, which is the power of his people, the praise of all his saints. Who are the saints? Even of the children of Israel. who are we? A people near to him. Praise ye the Most High. Praise the Most High. You say so. Here we are. This is what it says. And you're going to see this in mostly all these New Testament chapters that Paul writes. 2 Corinthians 1 and 2. It says, grace be to you and peace from the Most High, our Father. Is the Most High the power of everybody? He said, the Most High, our Father. Our is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. He said, the Most High, our Father. And from the power of Mashiach Yahushua, right? So who that grace for? These are the things that I've showed you how to define these words. And you find these words by the Bible, you can't go wrong. Grace is where? Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. This the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. We define the saints just now in Psalms 148:14, right? The children of Israel, who are we? Are people near to the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. So it says, hey, Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. This the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. See that? So you're not a saint. You ain't the children of Israel. You're not dealing with grace and mercy. His grace and mercy is with his saints, and that he have respect unto his chosen. His chosen are the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. So without a shadow of doubt, I mean, there it is. Grace be to you in 2 Corinthians 1 and 2. Grace, who is only to the saints, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, be to you, and peace from the Most High, our Father, and from Mashiach Yahushua, right? So who's the Most High, the Father of? You ain't got to go far. Go back to Acts 3:13. See, these scriptures that I've given you makes it simple. Acts 3:13. The power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the power of our fathers. There it is. That's the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the power of our fathers. When it says our fathers, it's talking about Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said that's his name forever, the memorial to all generations. In Exodus, the 3rd chapter, the 15th verse. That's who he is. Our power. So you know, if you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, he's not your power. He's point blank, he's not your power. That's why you got to stop following the ways of this world, man. The ways of this world can lead you straight to damnation. Jeremiah 44 and 11. Jeremiah 44 and 11. Therefore, thus say the Most High, power of hosts, power of army of angels, the power of Israel. See? There you identify himself. Our Father, power of our Father, power of Israel, the Israelites. What did he say? Behold, I will set my face against you for evil and to cut off all Judah. Why? Because we broke his commandments, man. We didn't keep the commandments. We didn't do what he said do. Amos 9 and 4. Amos 9 and 4. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword. Hear what he said? Though we go into captivity before our enemies, he said, thence will he command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. When he said he's going to set his eyes upon us for evil, that's what he did. He said, though they go into captivity before their enemies, not our friends, but before our enemies, it says, this will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. And you know, it's sad because when I think about the Most High sword, and he set the sword against us, when you think about it, Think about this. Make this simple as can be in your mind. Just stop and think about this for a little bit. Tell you in Psalm 17 and 13, Salakia. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Most High. That way y'all hear me saying Crum Most High. You know, that's Crum Most High. Rise, O Most High. Disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You know? Unless I read Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? Huh? Come on. He covered up Mashah Rashad's face, covered up this apostles' face, the disciples' face, the children of Israel face, and to this day. Look, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? He told the apostles they're going to sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And here we are. Arise, O Most High, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You see that? So he used them to tear us up, man. The wicked, which is the Most High sword. Amos 9 and 4. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. That's why we got to look at, the things that can help us in our state of oppression, in our captivity. We can look and find ways to honor the Most High. It could tell us in 2 Chronicles 6:24. And if thy people Israel, who we are, be put to the worst before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, because we sin against the Most High, breaking his commandments, his laws, and shall return and confess thy name, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said that's his name forever, the memorial to all generations, Exodus 3:15. But those that can hear and those that can see, and pray and make supplication before thee in this house. Then hear thou from the heavens and forgive the sin of thy people Israel, your people Israel, and bring them again into the land which thou gavest to them to be to their fathers, when the heaven is shut up and there was no rain because they have sinned against thee. You hear that? There are no blessings because we sinned against the Most High. Yet if they pray toward this place, we pray toward the east, and we here in this North America, this Western Hemisphere, we pray toward the east. Wherever you at, you pray toward Jerusalem. When the heaven is shut up and there was no rain because they have sinned against thee, yet if they pray toward this place and confess thy name and turn from their sin when thou dost afflict them, then hear thou from heaven and forgive the sin of thy servants. We defined the servants earlier in this. Jacob is my servant. And of thy people Israel. Can't get no clearer than that. Your people Israel, Most High. When thou hast taught them the good way. And that's the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. That's the good way. When we read in Romans 7 and 12, the law is holy, the commandment holy, and just and good. That's the good way. Wherein they should walk, and send rain upon thy land, which thou hast given unto thy people for an inheritance. Yes. Verse 36. If they sin against thee, but there is no man which sinneth not, and thou be angry with them and deliver them over before their enemies, and we have been delivered before our enemies, and carried them away captives into a land far off or near, all the way over here to this Western Hemisphere. Yet if they bethink themselves, we think what we have done in the land whither they are carried captives, in this land over here, that we concerned about this Western Hemisphere, wherever we are scattered among these nations, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned. It's very important that we let the Most High know we have sinned. We have done amiss and have dealt wickedly against the Most High. That's our prayer. If they return to thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whether they have carried them captives and pray toward their land, toward the east, if you hear in this Western Hemisphere, which thou gavest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from heavens, from the heavens, even from thy dwelling place, their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee. And that's what we have done over and over again. We sinned against the Most High. And you following Christmas, you sinning against the Most High. You following New Year's, you dealing with that. You part of the celebration of wickedness, straight up. Because it's not no New Year. It's celebrating, bringing in that God, Janis, the two-headed God that represent that whole month that you're dealing with. And they have all kind of things going on that's so wicked that the Most High said we ain't even supposed to be talking about it. It's so wicked. The things that they do. Now, my power, let I beseech thee, thine eyes be open, and let thine ears be attend unto the prayer that is made in this place. Now, therefore, rise, O Most High. Do you hear that? That's why I say I start with Krum Abanawa Yahweh. Point blank, Krum Abanawa Most High, Krum Abanawa power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, either or. Now, therefore, arise, O Most High. You hear that? That's what they're praying. Ain't no Krum Yasharala before Krum Most High. How we going to rise before him? Think about it. That's out of order. Krum Most High, he rise, he tell a Mashiach side who sit on the right-hand side of the Most High to rise and go and judge and make war and bring righteousness on this earth. What's wrong with that? Krum Most High, Krum Mashiach Yahushai, Krum Yasharala. This is what he said. We're going to see it twice tonight. Now, therefore, arise, O Most High, power, into thy resting place, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests, O Most High power, be clothed with salvation, and let thy saints rejoice in goodness. O Most High power, turn not away the face of thine anointed. Remember the mercies of David, thy servant. That's right, man. David was a man after the Most High's own mind, his own heart. He did things that were pleasing to the Most High. You know, he sinned, but he repented. That's why you read the Psalms, he's always talking about repenting. Repentance, repentance, repentance. Jeremiah 42. Jeremiah 42, 15. You notice we've been in Jeremiah a lot because it was wicked during the time of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 42 and 15. And now, therefore, hear the word of the Most High, you remnant of Judah. That's that 1/3 of the Judites. He said, hey, thus said the Most High power, host power, army of angels, the power of Israel. You see that over and over again. He's the power of Israel, the Israelites. If ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt. Because we always want to run back to Egypt, right? And the famine, food shortages, whereof ye were afraid, shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. You hear that? And there ye shall die. So shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. And none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I, that's the Most High, will bring upon them. See that? Nobody gonna escape, he said. Verse 22. Now therefore know certainly that ye shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, in the place whither ye desire to go and to sojourn. And here we are over in this Western Hemisphere, following the ways of the heathen. The Most High said, hey, Christmas was evil, forbidden in a lot of lands. You know that? Christmas was evil and forbidden in a lot of lands. They didn't allow Christmas to be there. You know, Louisiana adopted this and made this a law in 1868. Arkansas, Alabama, 1860. Well, Alabama was first 1836, then Louisiana in 1838. Arkansas, they came around 1838 also. It was all they got, Alabama, Louisiana, and Arkansas. You know, it became a national holiday that they call holiday in 1870, you know, here in America. You know, so look, it's dealing with, you know, in Salaki Mosai, I'm saying something that I shouldn't be saying, and saying these names with Nimrod, Horus, and Semiramis and Isis, all these different, you know, combinations go together in different parts of, you know, the world, and the rulership of these people going all the way back to Genesis 11 chapter. So, you know, everybody else come after that, you know. So Nimrod, when you understand this, he was killed and chopped up. And his mother/wife found every part of his body except for his scrotum, his private part, his penis. You know, you didn't find that. And that's why she set up this evergreen tree, because evergreen tree going on like that is like an uncircumcised scrotum, right? But she found all his body parts except for, like I say, his scrotum. You know, so the tree she set up is like a phallic symbol, because it go up like that. It's like a phallic symbol. You know, this is what they've done. Go to 2 Corinthians 11. 2 Corinthians 11 chapter. So you got the lights on the tree, right? But remember, we just went over this. 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. For no marvel, for Satan himself has transformed himself into an angel of light. So you got them lights on the trees, right? Representing Satan. He said, therefore, no great thing that his ministers also transform themselves into a ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. You see? This is what you're looking at. All this stuff is paganism. And that's what they're dealing with. But, you know, our people love to have a soul. The reindeers represent a god too. The horn is power. You know, the wreath that they have is pagan. And the candle was a female. What it is, like the wreath that they have is like the female organ, sexual organ. Then what you put on top of that wreath, that candle was what? The uncircumcised, you know, scrotum, or whatever you want to call it, private part, man's private part, sexual organ. That's what that wreath, and they had a candle in it, but that's the woman's sexual organ and the man's sexual organ, about the uncircumcised. That's why the candle go up straight like that. Boop. That's why it's like that. You know, you got the Yule log, right? I mean, all this is dealing with sun worship. The Yule log, they burned the Yule log. I remember on TV they had it burning forever and ever and ever. That a log just burning. That's all you go there. That's all they had burning was the log. That's dealing with what? It's sun worship. You know, mistletoe. You know, dealing with fertility god. That's where you kissing. You know, you go on the mistletoe. You can go have, you know, intercourse, whatever, bring forth children, get pregnant, whatever, man. You know, that's all. This is paganism. That's what they dealing with, you know, fertility. You know, the sun shines, so it brings forth the crops and so forth, and it's also dealing with bringing forth children, fertility god, and that's who Diana is in the New Testament. That goes all the way back to Semiramis, the fertility god. You know, that's why you see her. She have all the breasts that you see when you read about her. All these things are pagan. This is what we were doing. We just don't know because we don't know anything about history. We don't know anything about our story. That's why the Bible is our story, and we try and show you what it is that this Bible is talking about. Everybody want to run to something that's so ignorant. You know, I mean, y'all rather stay ignorant. You don't want to be. Hopefully, you want to come out of that, man. It's too much to learn. Too much to learn, y'all. For you to be stuck in that. Look, you want to get a good glance of Semiramis, Nimrod's mother / wife. Let me show you a picture of her right here. Here she is right here. See this black woman right there? That's in the New Testament. That's what we were bowing down to. Right there. Diana, going back to Semiramis. See the fertility god. You see all the breast on her? That's what we're worshiping. That's what y'all worshiping during Christmas. The fertility god. Diana. See all the breasts that she have on her? That represents fertility god. These are the pagan things that they were dealing with. We were dealing with, you know, all the way dealing with Saturnalia, you know, that's the pagan Christmas took on from Saturnalia. And you have Sol Invictus. All these things are pagan that we were following, and we just included it in some sort of religious ceremonies called Christmas. It has nothing to do with the Most High or Mashiach Yahushua or us as a people. Mashiach Yahushua was not born on 12/25 yesterday. No, he was born here. Go to Luke, the 2nd chapter. People act like they don't know. It's right here. Luke 2, and we'll start at verse 40. 41 going to bring it to light. And the child grew, talking about the Mashiach Yahushua, and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom. And the grace of the Most High was upon him, right? Now, look at this. Now, his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover, which is between the 3rd month and the 4th month of Esau's calendar, right? Passover. Not Easter, but Passover. That's what we celebrate. And when he was 12 years old, that word when means at that particular time that he turned 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast, you see? That's when he was born. When he was 12 years old, when? His birthday of when he was 12 years old, they had no party. But they had no birthday party. You didn't find no birthday party. Find me a birthday party in the Bible that we celebrate as Israelites. Tell me when Mashiach celebrated his 7th year birthday. Oh, surely you can find it when he celebrated his 11th year birthday, or when he was 12. He celebrated his birthday. 30 years old, he celebrated his birthday. You won't find it. It's not here. But here we are following pagan customs, man. I did a lesson on that. I did a lesson on all this, man. I presented it to our people to show you that you ain't supposed to be doing these things. But when you meet the judgment seat, you don't know when that is, or he comes dealing with you, all of a sudden, bam, you get this happening. He mocking and laughing at you and dealing with you. Hey, ain't nothing you can say. Except I repent. You better stop doing it. I don't know that. That's the whole thing. You can't repent and just keep doing the same thing. So that word when, look it up. It's being at that besides time. That's what it says. He was born on the Passover and they killed him on the Passover. Came in the world as the Lamb of the Most High, died as the Lamb of the Most High. You know? So it's very important that we see these things because we've been lied to. Look at First Timothy, the 4th chapter. And shalom, everyone coming in. Give me a like and share the video. And hit the bell so you can know whenever I come on. 1 Timothy 4:1. It says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So what has happened? Point blank. The devils have set it up for y'all to follow, and y'all follow it like clockwork. No problem. Yes, master. I'll do whatever y'all say. That's our people. They follow doctrines of the devil. Remember, we went in earlier. If you go back, a lot of you are coming in late, but if you go back, you'll see within this lesson, I showed how we follow traditions of men, you know, speaking lies and hypocrisy. They saying one thing and they doing something else. You know, I'm holier than thou, but then next thing you know, they sinning. Catch them in sin. They're gonna be holier than thou though, but you catch them in sin. Having a conscience seared with a hot iron. You know, a hot iron. Put that hot iron on there. You're gonna get that mark of that hot iron. That burn from that hot iron, you're gonna get that out of your clothes. You must well just discard it, throw it away. That's how their minds are, just straight up. They can't penetrate. Something as simple as saying all praise to the Most High. Y'all still gonna say all praises. Cancel the Most High out and justify that. Give me precepts on that. APTTMH. I ask people, what's that mean? They don't know what that means. We know what it means. We got to figure it out. Why you got to figure out all praise to the Most High? I don't want to figure that. I don't want to have nobody to say they heard me saying do this. Somebody started it, and then somebody followed it. Then you were responsible. That's why it says, verse 4, what they say: for every creature of the Most High is good, right, and nothing to be refused. That hammer's all right. That holy glazed hammer's all right. That's what it take you. For every creature of the Most High is good, and nothing to be refused. If it be received with thanksgiving, all you gotta do is pray over it. Give me a break. But it is a sanctified by the word of the Most High in prayer. Come on. He always say, you hear what you hear in your prayers. Look. Again, all praise to the Most High. Amos 5:21. I hate, you hear what he said? I hate you praying over this ham. I despise your feast days. I despise whatever you eating on Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, whatever day, Easter, whatever. He said, I despise your feast days. And them days they come together, 4th of July, all that. He said, I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts, no matter how big the pig and the hog is, and the the fat turkeys that they done blowed up, fat chickens that they done put all those chemicals in, whatever. You don't want to hear that. Take away from me the noise of thy vows. You don't hear what your songs have to say either. For I will not hear the melody of thy vows. Now you care less, man. They don't even bring that to me, he said. But y'all think, oh, the Most High love it, you know. He love it, you know. How much money is coming in or came in for Christmas? And they make a lot of money, man. They make more than half their money on Christmas. Y'all realize that? And 95% of the people in America celebrated Christmas. 95%. Only 5% didn't. Could I be the 5%, the Israelites? I don't think Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't think they celebrated. You know, but you got those that even Israelites, they be probably back in the cut, dealing with those that's dealing with it. Wow, you ain't available that day. Okay. All right. You don't ever know. I mean, it's a whole lot of things going on, y'all, that don't make you be righteous if you're not doing what the Most High say do. I mean, we had 8 days of celebrating Feast of Dedication, man. A whole 8 days, a week and 1 day, not just 1 day. You know, people now having hangovers. They probably looking at how much they done spent the day before, yesterday, weeping and sad because they gotta know they gotta pay all that stuff all year long. Shoot, I was a victim of it. I ain't ashamed to say it. Shoot. Charged up everything for one day. Many, many years ago, though. You know, I didn't know no better. It's like some of y'all don't know no better. That's why you gotta repent, man. Come out and come to the light. The marvelous light of the most high. Um, Song of Solomon. I'm just about finished, man. It's almost Song of Solomon, the second chapter. That's why I say, man, y'all, everybody gotta really step up, and really, be ready to bring forth this truth, man, to stand strong for the Most High. Look at this. So, saying that he was born yesterday on the 25th, look how the weather is. It tell you in the Bible, Song of Solomon 2:11. It says, "For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone." See, it's rainy season, it's cold. Sometimes it's snow in Israel. Ezra, go to the book of Ezra, the 10th chapter. Look, matter of fact, Ezra is 10 and verse 9. It says, "Then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together into Jerusalem within 3 days. It was the 9th month on the 20th day of the month." 9th month, where we at now, the 20th day of the month, and all the people sat in the street of the house of the Most High, trembling because of this matter and for the great rain. Ain't no shepherds out watching no sheep and no rain and no cold. You know it's cold. It's cold and rainy. I don't think so. Come on, make that make sense. Not us. You know, we ain't doing that. I don't care. I'm a man, and I know I ain't sitting out no cold, rainy season watching over no sheep. They go in the barns probably between the 9th month and the 10th month of Esau's. You understand this? So they not out watching those sheep in the dead of winter when it's raining and it's cold outside. Come on, dog. I gotta see this, man. This is crazy. Oh man. 2 Corinthians 6:14. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. You see? For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? So what fellowship have you? That's why I say, be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers. Okay, who it is, family members, whatever, friends, associates, whatever. Don't be, he's telling you, don't be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness? You just keeping the laws of the Most High, knowing that it's wrong. Christmas is wrong. What fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? With those that are keeping Christmas and the New Year's and all these things, man. We celebrate the New Year 14 days before the Passover. It's the New Year for us as Israelites. 14 days before the Passover. That's the New Year, regardless of when it falls in the Esau 3rd month or the 4th month. Usually going to be one of those months. That's the springtime when it starts. 14 days before the Passover is our New Year. That's why they got April Fool's Day, because they fooled you. Because they know between that 3rd month and that 4th month is the New Year. And they got all y'all thinking the New Year is coming up in, 6 days or so? That's crazy. Everything is look back east, man. The storms and the snowstorms and the weather condition, man. Look at the trees and everything. Everything is dead compared to where it look whenever it becomes life in the springtime. It's dead. That's why it's said, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness?" Remember, Masha was the light, you know? Remember, the law is the light, and anything that's not concerning keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments is darkness. They're in darkness, ignorance, not knowing, and don't care to know. Come on. You can read from Genesis to Deuteronomy and see the laws that the Most High gave to us, because you're going to have to follow it eventually, or you're going to be put to death. Simple as that. And what concord have Mashiach Yahushua with this demon? Belial. Contrary to him. Or what? That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with Christmas. Something contrary to him. He didn't never say celebrate no Christmas. He celebrated Feast of Dedication. And I'll show you that. Or what part has he that believeth with an infidel? What part of you that believeth in the Most High's word, his holy convocations, his holy days, with an infidel? Talk to me. How you justifying this with this unbeliever? They don't believe in the truth, but yet still you're going to compromise with them, and they unbelievers. That's why he's saying, what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? You believe in the Most High, you believe in what he's told us to do, and not following the way of the heathen, learn not the way of the heathen, but you still doing it, even though you're in the truth, and you got there doing it with those that are infidels, that unbelievers, don't believe in what you believe in. Come on. And what agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? What do you have in your spirit that will make you deal with those that are dealing with idols? You go in the house, and I remember one time I went to a house, man. I walked in, I looked to the right. It was a Christmas tree. It was like it roared at me some kind of way, man. I was like, oh, I've just felt some kind of way. Being in the truth, knowing what I know, it's like, man, I didn't really have to face that this year, you know what I mean, as far as, going around anyone that had Christmas trees or stores or anything of that nature where it was like that, man. But I just felt that demon. It was like, that's why I said, what agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? You know who the temple of the Most High? He told us back in 1 Corinthians 3:16 who the temple of the Most High is. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? See, we the temple of the Most High. We the children of Israel. We the temple of the Most High. So that's why he say, and what agreement, 2 Corinthians 6:16, and what agreement have the temple of the Most High, who we are, with idols? With anything that's contrary to what the Most High told us in Exodus 20th chapter, the first verse down to about the 4th verse, man. He said, hey, yes, they have no other power before him. Thou shalt not bow down to them. And that's what you're doing when you bow down to that Christmas tree. That's an idol. And we'll say, what do we have to do being a temple of the Most High? We the 12 tribes of Israel with idols. It says, for ye are the temple of the living Most High. We the Israelites. As the Most High said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. That's why I say, wherefore come out from among them. You hear that? Say, come out from among them and be ye separate. I don't care nothing about what people are doing. As long as I know that what I'm saying to you is the proper way to tell you the best I can, the Spirit of the Most High that's in me, that you're not supposed to be doing those things, especially when you have all these days that they waiting for Valentine's Day. Man, we're going to have new moon, we're going to have gatherings together, coming together for classes and so forth, and we're going to have the Feast of Purim 2 days in a row, no, 3 days. We got the Day of Simon, I think it is, and for 3 days in a row, and Purim, 2 days, 3 days in a row, party and have a good time, giving gifts if you want to each other and all of that. He said, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate. You got to have your mind right. That's why he told us, we went to Revelation 18:4. It says, come out of her, that you will receive of her plagues. I mean, come on. Most High going to destroy this place, man. You can bring in plagues. You can be like a woman in travail, a woman having contractions, having a baby. Y'all go get closer and closer and closer. You see the things that's happening in the world right now. It's happening back to back to back to back, real fast. Like it never happened. When I was growing up, you never seen the things that I see happen. I turn on the news, something drastic happened today, something drastic gonna happen tomorrow, something drastic happen all the time during the day. Now, that's how it's happening. Wherefore come out of from among them and be ye separate, said the Most High, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. But how many times you didn't touch the unclean thing? Your pork, your shrimp, your crab, your catfish, over and over and over again. So how you gonna receive you and you touching the unclean thing? But the Most High told us, don't even touch a dead pig carcass. He said, don't touch a dead pig carcass. He said, I will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, said the Most High Power Almighty. So that's how we become the sons of the Most High. That's how we become the daughters of the Most High. You women, you men, says the Most High. We need to do what he say do, man. And don't be touching things that's unclean. Dealing with things that are unclean. That's unclean. That's abominable to the Most High. Celebrate something that he said is abomination to him. And what you gonna do when he come for you? What you gonna do? What's your plan? You gotta have some kind of plan. Should be able to tell us something that we should be able to do. Jeremiah 44. Jeremiah 44. I'm gonna finish this out. Y'all all right? I'm gonna finish this out. I got a few more scriptures I want to bring out. Jeremiah 44:12. And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt, to sojourn there. And you know, you can walk from Israel to Egypt. He said, to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed. Yeah, they said what he said. They all gonna be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be in execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. Don't get it twisted, because we living in the land of Egypt too, being sold on them slave ships. Remember the Most High told us in Deuteronomy 28:68? The Most High gonna send you into Egypt between captivity, slavery, and bondage again with ships. Come on. It says, so that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have desired to return to dwell there. Got tired of Egypt, right? They're going to want to go back to Israel. For none shall return, but such as shall escape. So some of us did escape. It says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods. You hear this? That's why I went to Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, about the women that's haughty, prideful, not humble. It said that their wives have, the men that had knew that their wives had burned incense. That's why he said he killed the men. He just took away a lot of things from you women. And instead of sweet smelling says thing, instead of long hair, he made y'all bald. Well, no matter how you look at it, you had much longer hair and much beautiful hair than you had in the past and you have now. That their wives, the men that knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Patros, answered Jeremiah, saying, what they say, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us, in the name of the Most High, Yahweh some Mashiach Yahweh, we will not hearken unto thee. You heard that. Jeremiah 6:16. So we listen to you. Otherwise, get out our face. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus said the Most High Power, stand ye in your ways and see and ask for the old paths, for the old ways, y'all. Where is the good way? Where is the good way? And walk therein. And ye shall find rest unto your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Ain't that us? But they say, we will not walk therein. Over and over again. Jeremiah 44:17. Jeremiah 44:17. But ye will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of your own mouth. We just ain't gonna do whatever we want to do. We ain't gonna listen to you, Jeremiah. We're gonna do whatever come out of our mouth. But ye will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of your own mouth. To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. That's what they were doing. And that's what they're doing all the way to today, following Christmas. And I showed it to you, Diana. She was called Diana. In Acts, I think 17th chapter, 19th chapter. They brought incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done. We and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. See? This is what we were dealing with. Now, Jeremiah 7. Jeremiah 7. Jeremiah 7:17. Jeremiah 7, verse 17. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? See what they doing? The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough. Don't you tell me they ain't baking a lot of cakes for this Christmas for yesterday. To make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. See that? When they're making cakes and all that stuff, all that's going for the Queen of Heaven. And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. That's what they did. And provoking the Most out of anger. Go back, look at do they provoke me to anger? Said the Most High. Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? Don't know what they're doing? And knowing who you really offended in the Most High? Therefore, thus said the Most High Power, behold, mine anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, upon man, and upon beast, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground, and it shall burn, and shall not be quenched. But I hear what he's saying. That's why I have to lead you with something that hopefully you'll hear and take heed to, because it's very important. It says this, like he told Ezekiel in the 3rd chapter. We're going to look at the 4th verse, Ezekiel 3 and 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee into the house of Israel and speak with my words unto them. That's what I've been doing all night. I've been speaking the words of the Most High to you. Said, but thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel, who this message is to. And all those others that are here and will learn how to be like we are supposed to be operating. Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language. I understand English, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent you to them, somebody of another nation that speak one of these other languages that the Most High confounded, that he came down and he heard the people speaking in Egypt and said, I heard a language I didn't even understand. But he said, surely I would have sent you unto them, people that speak another language. These other nations, they would have hearkened unto thee. They'll listen. But the house of Israel would not hearken unto thee, but they would not hearken unto me. You know what he said? We, the 12 tribes of Israel, the house of Israel, would not hearken unto thee. So he ain't gonna listen to you. So it don't bother me. He said, for they would not hearken unto me, because you ain't listen to the Most High. And all I'm bringing is the Most High's word. But all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. You hear that? And all is a certain number. The house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted, man. It's really silly people, man. I mean, when you look at it, man, for all that he has said, if you go over this from the beginning, and I have many times, you know, that I've went through, you know, Christmas, because every year it happens, don't it? So I go over it. It's just a little bit more here, a little bit more there. You know, I got many. I just put pre-style wine, put Christmas, and I got many times I don't went over Christmas. You know, many years, every year, really, pretty much. So you can look at that. But for you that are still going to be hard-headed, stiff-necked, want to be impudent and hard-necked and hard-headed and hard-hearted, Ezekiel 3:18. When I say unto the wicked, because that's who you are, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning. I don't warn you. Like I told you, I'm your alarm clock to wake you up that's never going to go off. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaking to warn the wicked from his wicked way, as I'm doing, to save his life, is to save your life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. You're going to die in your wickedness, in your sin, and doing the things that's contrary to the Most High, laws, statutes, commandments. But his blood will I require at thine hand. God, we got to pay a price. I'd have to pay a price for that if I didn't tell you, go through all the wickedness that you looking at and keeping this holiday of Christmas alone. Yet, if thou warn the wicked, which I have within 3.5 hours, yet if thou warn, and you look at the lesson before that, and a lesson, like I said, you just go on preach down wine and put Christmas. I did this many times. Yet if thou warn the wicked, as I'm warning the wicked, and he turned not from his wickedness, you still want to do the same things you've been doing after you hearing all that the Most High saying he's going to do to you and have done to us, nor from his wicked way, you want to still follow Christmas? He shall die in his iniquity, but thou have delivered thy soul. That's why I got to really bring it. Uncut, raw, just like it's supposed to be done. Whether you hear or forbear. So you're going to die in your wickedness. You don't turn from what you're doing that the Most High hate. You're going to die in your wickedness. Say, if thou warn the wicked, which I have warned you, and he turned not from his wickedness, nor from the wicked way, his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. You're going to die in your wickedness, in your evil, in your sins, in breaking the Most High's commandments and laws. But thou hast delivered thy soul. I've delivered my soul. Because you heard it. Again, when a righteous man, those are supposed to be rolling in the truth, does turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, go out there and celebrate Christmas with the family or whoever, knowing that they is dealing with following and bowing down to a sun god, and I lay a stumbling block before him. You hear that? That's the Most High said. He gonna lay a stumbling block before you. He shall die to kill you. because thou hast not given him warning. He should die in his sin. That's for those that are supposed to be rolling in the truth of righteousness, keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. We the Israelites. Say he's going to die in his sin because he have not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he have done shall not be remembered. That's deep right there. You don't live all righteous, and then you make a mistake, do this, that, third, whatever you're supposed to be doing was right. You say your righteousness will not be remembered. Woo! But his blood will I require at thine hand. You hear that? His blood gonna be required at my hand if I don't want him. That's why I'm talking to everybody, straight up across the board. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, which I talked about, the leaders of our nation and so forth, and those that are within our nation, that the righteousness sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live. They hear this and they change, start doing what's right according to the Most High's word, his laws, statutes, commandments, because he is warned. You've been warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul. Also, I've delivered my soul. You see that? This how this works. Now, understand this too. As you're being warned and told what you should do, we as an elder trying to get you to do the right thing before the Most High, because everything I brought you is from the scriptures, you know. Hebrews 13, Hebrews 13, I want you to look at verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you. And that's we that are teaching you how to operate as an Israelite and as a heathen, no matter. Because y'all will be learning what we learning anyway. Obey them that have the rule over you. That's just the teachers. And submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls. That's what I just gave you. The last thing I gave you in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. Got to watch for their souls. Watch out for everybody's souls. As they that must give an account. Isn't that what we just read? If we don't warn them, their blood going to be on us. If I don't warn you, your blood going to be on me. Even with the righteous, I don't tell you what to do, instruct you in the right way, your blood going to be on me. But if I do, then your blood is not on me. That's why it said, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. You can't submit yourself to the teachers if you prideful. You know, you're going to be out there by yourself when it's Jacob's trouble hit. But they watch for your souls. You know, you got to think about everybody watching for their souls as they that must give an account, because they have to give an account to the Most High in my actions, in our actions and what we doing as the teachers and bringing forth this truth in the last days and this time and forever, that they may do it with joy and not grief. You know, that we may bring this truth out regardless of what we got to do. We got to deal with a lot and deal with the people of the world, the people of Israel, the people that are not even caring about anything, and we still got to bring it because we scattered among these people that don't care about nothing, not even themselves. But we got to give an account to the Most High about whatever it is that we do. Well, I say, hey, if you so right, we can go through the throne of the Most High and let him bring forth the judgment, whatever you want to bring. Most people don't want to do that because they ain't so sure of themselves, but they talk a lot of crap. But that's real. About some of myself, Kawashai. It said that they may do it with joy and not with grief. For that is unprofitable for you. And people don't think about that. We all on the same page. Everybody on the same page. But you sitting here, you ain't teaching hours and hours and hours about Most High or anything else. But we're on the same page. We're not on the same page. And I'm not boasting at all. I just know that, I appreciate every brother that's been in this truth, man, dealing straight up. But it ain't easy. Not dealing with our people. You see what the Most High just said? What he said? Go tell my people this, but they ain't gonna hear you because they won't even listen to me. And we the ones that got to go out there and reach the people and be prepared to deal with hours of teaching and so forth. And it's like we on the same page. But I ain't seen you doing it. I'm talking about you that's scoffers and you got this, that to say, whatever. I ain't seen you doing it. Open up your own class and teach what you want to believe in or how you believe. Hours and hours. Bring it. I mean, I like to see it. That's why I say we supposed to be able to do this with joy and not with grief. But that is unprofitable for you. Better hear what he's saying. That's serious. Now, for you other nations, before I leave, this for you. All the nations outside of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, those 12 tribes, this for you. Jeremiah 12:16. It say, and it shall come to pass. It's a future prophecy. It was in Jeremiah a lot tonight, right? If they will diligently learn the ways of my people. You're supposed to diligently learn the ways of the Most High's people. The my people are who? The Israelites. Matthew 2:6 defines that. That's why I tell y'all, if y'all learn the definitions by the scriptures, you can't go wrong. This is my people. Matthew 2:6. And I love it because in the New Testament, they're supposed to believe in, right? But not knowing it enough. It said, and thou Bethlehem. That's where Mashiach was born. In the land of Judah, he came out of Judah. Hebrews 7:14, for this evidence our father Mashiach sprang out of Judah, our forefather Jacob's fourth-born son, Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor, this is Mashiach ever said, that shall rule my people Israel. See that? A governor that shall rule my people Israel. So now it's purely talking about the Israelites, my people Israel, right? The 12 tribes of Israel. So Jeremiah 12:16, and it shall come to pass if they will diligently learn the ways of my people to swear by my name, the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his name forever, memorial to all generations. I like that one because Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, and he's the power of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. That's who we say the power of Israel. That's who Israel is. You see it over and over again. Go back to this lesson. You'll see he's saying the power of Israel. He said, you got to swear by his name, the Most High liveth, as they taught my people to swear by Baal. And that's what y'all have done. Even on Jeopardy, they asked the panel, what is another name, the four-letter name for the Canaanite god, Lord? Think about that. And the man immediately said, Baal. I'm spelling it because we're not supposed to allow the name of these gods to come out of our mouths. But look at this. They made our people swear by what? Baal. You see that? There it is in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. You see what it says in every Bible dictionary. Lord. Straight up. So they believe in Baal. That's their God. And they put it in the Bible. That's why the Most High, as they taught my people to swear by Baal or Lord. What's the difference? Like I say, Robert, they call you Bobby, they call you Bob. Same person, just a different spelling of the name and a different identity of characters of the letters. You know what I mean? Like R-O-B-E-T, R-O-B-E-R-T, and B-O-B and B-O-B-B-Y. Same person. You know what I mean? Baal is Lord. Also means Husband and Master. Understand it. So they put it in the Bible because you're going to say it. That's what the Most I say. You got to find out as they taught my people to swear by Baal, right? Lord in the Bible. Stop saying it. It say, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. You see? You got to learn the ways that we teach them. Then you're gonna be able to be built in the midst of the Most High people. In the kingdom, y'all want salvation? You want to be in part of our kingdom, our salvation? Then you got to do this. But if they will not obey, what? Just learning the ways of my people, as it said in verse 16, but if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, said the Most High. So it behooves you to listen to what we're doing. There's a lot of people, these other nations that are listening and know that we the children of Israel, without shadow of doubt. They know this. We don't know it. Why? Because we've been disenfranchised from our heritage from the beginning, man. So that's real. So Christmas is pagan. And if you don't believe it, you're going to find out in that judgment. When that judgment comes, be able to think the Father has living power, y'all. So with that, I'm going to say, the Most High going to deal with you if you hear and you don't take heed. Now, he dealt with all of us. He's going to deal with all of us. We hear and don't take heed, then you're going to have to deal with the judgment of the Most High. And we don't want that. I don't want it for you, but if you got to get it, you got to get it. And it's coming quickly. And with that, I say, Kwam Abanawa Yahweh, Kwam Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and Kwam Yasharala. And to water y'all, give me a like the video and share it. And with that, I'm out. Shalom.